American 11 Heavy, Boston Tower, good morning. Move right up 2, hold short of 4 right. After departure, maintain 3,000.
Way short of 4 right, 3,000, American 11 Heavy.
US Air 1995, Boston Tower, advising you have the numbers, position hold 9er.
Position hold runway 9, and we're all set to go, US Air 1995.
Thank you. American 11 Heavy, runway 4 right, taxi into position hold, traffic departing 9er.
4 right, position hold, American 11 Heavy.
You gonna go right out with the Saab, or can I go with the Heavy?
Observe release.
Thank you, observe release.
Heavy TC.
US Air 1995, traffic holding on the crossing runway, runway 9er, takeoff.
Runway 9er, cleared for takeoff, US Air 1995.
Eagle 603, left turn, hold short of 4 left, landing traffic.
Short of 4 left, Eagle 603.
Eagle 603, use cars for the construction equipment, monitor tower 128.8.
Short left 28, Eagle 603.
American 11 Heavy, traffic's orbiting north of the field at 3,500 feet, maintain 3,000, runway 4 right, cleared for takeoff.
Okay, 3, cleared for takeoff, 1 4 right. What are the winds?
Wind 330 at 9er. US Air 1995, contact departure.
Departure is 1995 departure.
Delta 2435, Boston Tower, runway 9er. Taxi into position and hold.
2435, can we do that with about a minute delay in the position?
Affirmative, Delta 2435, advise ready.
2435, position hold, runway 9er, we'll call you ready. It'll be about another minute and a half.
American 11 Heavy, contact departure. That traffic's now in your 10 o'clock and 2 miles, 3,400 feet.
American 11 Heavy.
Departure, good morning, American 11 Heavy with you passing through 2,000 for 3,000.
American 11 Heavy, Boston departure radar contact, good morning, traffic 10 o'clock, 2 miles, maneuvering Cessna Skyline VFR 3,500.
Yeah, inside American 11. 476 on station, sir.
Cross 76, roger. There'll be multiple aircraft departing runway 4 right and left. They'll be all restricted below you at 3,000 feet. If you have no objection, I won't be making any traffic calls on the aircraft departing.
No objection, sir. Any chance to get 27 to this one?
Cross 76, I would give that to you. However, we're using the frequency in another sector.
Okay, thank you, sir.
US Air 1995, turn right heading 200.
And 200 is 1995.
American 11 Heavy, climb and maintain 8,000.
8,000, American 11 Heavy.
American 11 Heavy, turn right heading 180.
180, American 11 Heavy.
Vector Colgan 5966 with you at 1,000 feet for 3,000.
Colgan 5966, Boston departure radar contact traffic 1 o'clock, 2 miles, maneuvering Cessna Skyline VFR 3,500.
5966, looking for traffic.
Departure Delta 2435 out of 1500 for 5,000.
Delta 2435, Boston departure radar contact traffic 11 o'clock, 6 miles, turning southbound, heavy 767, climbing out of 6,000 for 8,000.
Delta 2435, Tally House.
American 11 Heavy, climb and maintain 14,000.
14,000, American 11 Heavy.
Delta 2435, climb and maintain 6,000.
2435 up to 6,000.
American 11 Heavy, turn right heading 220.
20, American 11.
Departure, good morning, Air Canada 765. Is this you leaving 1200 for 5,000?
Air Canada 765, Boston departure radar contact traffic 10 o'clock, 6 miles southwestbound. Company Canada Regional Jet City 8,500 for 6,000.
765.
Delta 2435, turn right heading 200, climb and maintain 7,000.
Delta 2435, right 200, 7,000.
Hey, this is Plymouth. One unapproved on U.S. areas. Checked in yet if you still got them in Delta 2435 also.
Okay, alright. User 1995, contact Boston Center 128.75, good day.
2875, 1995.
Colgan 5966, traffic no factor, climb and maintain 4,000, contact Boston approach 128.25, good day.
2018, a quarter, Colgan 5966 here.
American 11 Heavy, turn right heading 270, contact Boston approach 127.2, good day.
27-2 and 270, American 11 long. American 11 Heavy with you passing through 10,000 to 14,000.
American 11 Heavy, Boston approach flighting 270.
70, American 11. Good morning, American 11 with you passing through 11,000 to 14,000.
American 11, Boston Center, good morning, climb maintain flight 230, direct Chester.
230, direct Chester, American 11.
Center, Executive 332, descending through 19.7 for 190.
So Jet 332, Boston Center, Roger. Jet 332, clear direct to the white floor intersection on course.
White floor intersection, Jet 332.
Victor Whiskey, climb maintain flight level 210.
210.
No, we can go to that 170 heading to join. Go ahead, 47.
Okay, USA 2683, you gave us 160, you want 170 now?
Yeah, 170 will be fine. 170 to join.
170 to join J37, USA 2683.
550 Victor Whiskey is flight approved.
Okay, going to be slow climbing.
Okay.
18's good, dark math is good, yellows are on, no complaints at all about the rides, weather's good. Working Chester, working climbing underneath that. 38 has the handoff, shows climb to 31, point out to 22. Quick to white floor, hand up to you, not on frequency. On frequency going to Big O. Keith says go to Big O with anybody. Excellent. And Charlotte 20, Atlanta, on the VOI's release right now.
Good deal.
That's on page 2.
Digit 332, just want to maintain follow the 180, say indicated speed.
Okay, down to 180, and we're doing 280 right now, because it's at 362.
Leveling applicable 190, check now.
Northwest 206 Boston, Tennessee, indicated speed.
Right now, 310.
American 11, contact Boston Center, 127.82.
3782, it's long American 11. Good morning, American 11 with you, passing through 190, 230.
American 11 Boston, Center Roger, climbing table about 280.
280, American 11.
FedEx 3258, very clear, direct to Barnes.
Direct to Barnes, FedEx 3258.
Delta 544, contact Boston Center, 125.57.
4557 for Boston, Delta 544, good day.
Vicky's opening up on 133.
Boston Delta 1149, leveling at 310.
Delta 1149, Boston Center, Roger. American 11, climbing table about 290.
90, American 11.
FedEx 3258, clear direct to Bingo.
Direct Bingo, thank you, 3258.
FedEx 3258, your traffic, you're going to be following at 12 o'clock in about 10 miles, also southbound.
Who's doing traffic, sir?
12 o'clock in about 10 miles, same direction, also at 350, company.
Okay, thanks.
Peak this is the Boston speed, FedEx 3601 Mach 80 or greater, FedEx 3258 Mach 80 or less. FedEx 3601, contact Boston Center, 125.57.
2557, FedEx 3601, heavy.
American 11, your traffic is at 2 o'clock, 20 miles southwestbound, MD 80, 310.
American 11, roger.
FedEx 3258, you clear direct to Sparta.
Sparta, FedEx 3258, heavy.
FedEx 3258, contact Boston Center, 125.57.
American 11, climb maintain level 350. American 11, climb maintain level 350. American 11, Boston. Earth 7, Mike Lima, how do you hear?
Mike Lima has you loud and clear.
American 11, Boston. American 11, the American on the frequency, how do you hear me?
This is Adam.
This is Boston. I turned American 20 left and I was going to climb. He will not respond to me now. At all.
Looks like he's turning right.
Yeah, I turned him 20 right.
Oh, okay.
And he's only going to, I think 29.
Okay. Sure, that's fine.
But
you want to talk to him? He's Nardo. Roger.
Right. Thanks. 7 Mike Lima, descend at positive discretion, maintain for level 240.
PD down 240 will begin down. Mike Lima.
American 11, Boston. American 11, if you hear Boston Center, ident.
Boston, 683, flight level 210, climb 230.
Final 683, Boston Center, roger, climb maintain for level 310.
Climb maintain flight level 310.
American 11, if you hear Boston Center, ident, please, or acknowledge. American 11, if you hear Boston Center, recontact Boston Center on 127.82. That's American 11, 127.82.
2875, 780.
All right, Joe. Boarding area is cool. 63.355.
American 11, American 11, Boston. Delta 1149, contact Boston Center 125.57.
1149, 2557, good evening.
American 11, if you hear Boston Center, ident, please.
Center, Fluxjet 420, second in, passing 18 for 230.
Fluxjet 420, Boston Center, roger, climb maintain level 240.
Climbing to 240, Fluxjet 420.
back. The cockpit's not answering. Somebody's staffed in business class. And I think there's mates that we can't breathe. I don't know. I think we're getting hijacked.
Will be 125.05.
Flight 12.
30 for takeoff.
And what seat are you at? Ma'am, are you there? Yes. What seat are you in? Ma'am, what seat are you in? We just left Boston. We're up in the air. We're supposed to go to LA, and the cockpit's not answering their phone. Okay, but what seat are you sitting in? What's the number of your seat? Okay, I'm in my jump seat right now. Okay. At 3R. Okay, you're the flight attendant? I'm sorry, did you say you're the flight attendant? Hello? Yes, hello? What is your name? Hi, you're going to have to speak up. I can't hear you. Sure. What is your name? Okay, my name is Betty Ong. I'm number 3 on flight 11. Okay. And the cockpit is not answering their phone. And there's somebody staffed in business class, and we can't breathe in business class. Somebody's got mace or something. Can you describe the person that you said someone is what in business class? I'm sitting in the back. Somebody's coming back from business. If you can hold on for 1 second, they're coming back. They want to know who thinks staff food, you know? I don't know, but Karen and I got stabbed. Okay. Our number 1 got stabbed. Our purser is stabbed. Nobody knows who stabbed who, and we can't even get up to business class right now because nobody can breathe. Our number 1 is stabbed right now. Okay. And our number 5, our first class passengers, our first class galley flight attendant, and our purser has been stabbed. And we can't get to the cockpit. The door won't open. Hello? Yeah, I'm taking down all the information. We're also, of course, recording this. At this point... This is operations. What flight number are we talking about? Flight 12. Flight 12. Okay, no, we're on flight 11 right now. This is flight 11. It's flight 11. I'm sorry, Nydia. Boston to Los Angeles. Yes. Our number 1 has been stabbed, and our 5 has been stabbed. Can anybody get up to the cockpit? Can anybody get up to the cockpit? We can't even get into the cockpit. We don't know who's up there. Well, if they were shrewd, they would keep the door closed. I'm sorry? Would they not mean cockpit? I think the guys are up there. They might have found their way up there or something. Nobody can call the cockpit. We can't even get inside.
United 175 down of 19 to 230.
United 175, Boston.
Is everybody still there?
Yes, we're still here.
Okay. I'm staying on the line as well.
Okay.
Hi, who is calling reservations? Is this one of the flight attendants or who? Who are you, hon?
She gave her name as Betty Ong.
Betty, I'm number 3. I'm number 3 on this flight. And you're the number 3 on the flight? Yes. And this is flight 11? From where to where? 11. Have you guys called anyone else? No. Somebody's calling medical, and we can't get a stop.
Approach to Leesburg, and no traffic in the pattern, so report canceling high farthest frequency on the ground with Leesburg RTR.
Okay, I can go ahead and cancel now if that helps.
Roger, November 2 Romeo Whiskey, squawk 1200, radar service terminated, frequency change approved.
1200, 2 Whiskey Romeo, good day.
American 77. Say direct Linden, contact Ellis 118.67.
Direct Linden 8267, American. American 77, way to pass 9.1 for 11,000.
American 77, Dallas approach, climb maintain 17,000.
7,000, American 77.
Southwest 3.
Athens, this is Rockdale. A couple things. Point out north and west of Rockdale is Amsterdam 986.
What up, Chris?
Hey, also, are you trying to get through the company on the American or anything?
We're trying everything here.
Is he really got no transponder screwed up or what?
It appears that way.
No kidding. All right.
Humana 67.0.
Is that American 11 trying to call?
Buddy, we have some planes. Just stay quiet and you'll be okay. We're turning to the airport.
15 Southwest of Bono going to Hampton.
And who's trying to call me here? American 11, are you trying to call?
Nobody move. Everything will be okay. If you try to make any move, you'll injure yourself and the airplane. Just stay quiet.
Yeah, we got him on primary.
Hey, 38?
Yeah.
Have you guys heard anything from American?
No.
Okay, we think there might be somebody in the cockpit right now taking it over.
Okay.
Yeah, we just broadcast over here. Yeah, we're already doing it.
Okay, I know.
American 77, contact Washington Center 120.65. Good luck.
26 mile American 37, thank you, today.
30 chance to get direct front this morning?
Not right now. Go ahead, 38.
Yeah, American 11, we suspect there's someone in the cockpit that's taken over. We have just put him in direct Watertown, Jamestown. Last we knew he was on present heading cleared to flight level 290. No one is talking to him. Eric has been called. We broadcasted on guard. We tried through company.
Okay. Thanks.
And 290 is not verified.
125.57.
2557, Delta 351.
Fletcher 420 Boston Center 125.57.
12557, Fletcher 420 so long.
Delta 2551, climb maintain flight level 180.
Because he was just heading that way, yes.
Yeah, we've taken the American back because he appears to have turned.
Yep, thanks. Flagship 5616, boss.
Oh, sorry.
Do what? 230, flagship 5616.
Override.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I need you to look west of Albany, American 11, and put him on your scope. He is, Nordo has been since he talked to Boston High. We assume he's at flight level 290. We're not sure. We think there's someone in the cockpit with him. We broadcasted over guard. We've gone Eric. We have gone company. Nobody is talking to him. We don't know where he's going. We don't know what altitude he's at.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
Flight level 210, Delta 2551.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm on out there northwest of Bradley, Jetline 4042, be a few minutes so I can get him down.
100%.
Cleveland. Hi, Cleveland, New York, Boston. I got a little situation with American 11, American 11.
He is a 767 departed Boston going to LAX. We don't know where the aircraft is going. He is supposedly going to LAX. Was going westbound. We lost his frequency. Then we lost his transponder, and now the aircraft is just west of Albany, heading due south.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Do we have the data block on him? Who's got the?
Yeah, it's a primary target presently, and it's just heading southwestbound.
Okay.
I know I'm to go to right now.
I'll advise the area.
The last altitude observed was a fellow of 290.
29 southbound?
Heading southwestbound. He's like towards Hancock, right around there. He's southwest of Albany by 1.5 miles.
You have no idea where he's going?
No idea, sir.
All right. You can tag him on the TSC. I did pick him up.
Primary only? Primary only.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, Boston Center claims that they lost radio communication with the aircraft and the transponder, and there's also they're tracking the primary target at this point. It was already down at flight level 290, and he appears to have turned southwestbound. And also there was some mention of some sort of a threat being made, or a threat to the cockpit, or some threat in the cockpit then. And Boston's uncertain exactly what was said. I guess they're going to try to pull the tapes as quick as they can.
Hey, Tom, where can I reach you back? What number at? Okay, all right. Bye. Okay. I'll call you back. Bye.
Contact Boston, 7135.32.
3532 now, please, 6126, long.
Right service, call, contact Boston, 7135.32.
3532, 876, call, yeah.
You heard that, John? We're doing 20 to Charlotte, 20 to Atlanta. We're going to bunch of Atlanta, so hopefully they're just about done. Why he started 20, that has been a problem.
Rockdale 30.
Continental 683, contact New York Center 127.17.
717, I got 683, see him.
They're gone, he can go. He's over Sparta, heard about him. He stopped at 31, I guess he's no factor with him now. They're gone, he might be that's the only you want to do that. Keeps going south though, he'll go behind us. And that's it.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, hi, are you able to stop at Otis on this line?
I'm not sure, because I need to keep in touch with people.
I have a little situation with the American 11. I have a situation with American 11. I want to talk to Otis Street. I need to scramble some fighters.
All right, well, hold on a second. Let me get this.
Nobody move, please. Going back to the airport. Don't try to make any stupid moves.
Cape approach. Hey, Cape, Dan Buenacar from Boston Center. I have a situation with American 11, a possible hijack.
American 11?
Yes, sir. Departed Boston, going to LAX. Right now, he's south of Albany. I'd like to scramble some fighters to go tail him.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll talk to Otis here.
Okay, and just put a, if he wants, just depart, and we'll put a flight plan in for him, and we'll aim him towards Hampton direct.
Okay, I'll talk to these guys over here and see what we can do.
Okay.
And right now he's on the ground in Albany?
No. He's right now south.
contact Indy 120.27.
2027, hope you have a good one, American 1441.
Southwest 1317, Indianapolis 120.27.
All right, just let you know, confirm that was for Southwest 1317, 120.27.
Southwest 1317, 2027, sir. Good day.
All right, I copy, thank you.
Southwest 654, contact Washington 133.02.
Southwest 654, 3302, good day.
Continental 1131, clear direct Charleston.
Direct Charleston, 1131. Center, Southwest 11327 now.
Southwest 113, Washington Center, 105 miles.
Roger, we'd like to put direct Zanny on request, please.
I have your request. FedEx 3212, mend altitude, maintain flight level 310.
Okay, we'll stop it at 310, FedEx 3212 Heavy.
UCF 583, Boston.
583, go ahead.
How's the visibility?
It's unlimited. It's clear and no clouds. It's great.
Once you look out your right side, maybe you're at 3 o'clock in about 10 miles. We got an American 767 we're lost contact with, and I want to know if you can tell me if he's over at around roughly 29,000 feet there. We're showing him at 29, but we can't verify that.
Okay, we're not showing anybody on the TCAS. Just a second, we're looking over there and see if we can spot him.
Right, he'd be about right around your turn right now. He'd probably be about your 3 o'clock right now.
We can't spot him yet. How many miles off to the 3 o'clock position?
He's about 7 miles right now, and he's heading southbound. United 175, Boston.
175, go ahead, sir.
Roger, you have traffic. Look at your 12 to 1 o'clock at about 10 miles southbound. See if you can see an American 767 out there, please.
They were looking negative contact. 175.
UCF 583, can you see it?
Just weapons, 30 Powell. All right, Boston Center, TMU. We have a problem here. We have a hijacked aircraft headed towards New York, and we need you guys we need someone to turn us some F-16s or something up there.
Delta 1489, heavy Boston.
Is this real world or X-Files? No, it's not an X-Files manifest.
Okay, hey, hold on 1 second, okay?
Yep.
3 o'clock, approximately 29,000. Looks like he's going to pass behind us here just a minute or two.
Okay, now he looks like he's about roughly 29,000 feet.
Yes, sir, that's obviously just an estimate, but that looks about right for him.
Okay, United 175, you have him at your 12 o'clock now in 5 and 10 miles.
Affirmative, we have him, he looks about 29, 28,000.
Okay, thank you.
Sir.
UCF 583, contact New York Center 127.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I got an MCT coming in right now to talk to you so you can handle all that. Thank you. All right.
Yes, sir, 583, let's see.
United 175, 30 degrees to the right. I want you to keep your way from the truck.
Yeah, Hunter, calling in reference to the hijacked aircraft. Yes. We're checking to get some information from you if we could.
Okay, what do you need?
We need call sign type aircraft.
It's American 11.
Hi, this is Major Dexter.
Hi, Joe Cooper, Boston Center. We have a hijacked aircraft headed towards the New York metro area. Wondering if you could send someone up there, send F-16s or something, help us out. Maybe out of Otis.
Do you have a mode 3 on it?
No, it's a primary target only. We lost the mode C on it. So you'd have to get up in the air and we'd have to vector you towards the aircraft.
Okay, so you'd want to control the intercept because
we have to, yeah.
You have to,
until
right.
you guys pick them up on primary radar.
Okay, so you have a general location as to where he is?
We're still tracking him right now.
You're tracking him. Can you give me a lot wrong where you think he is for RSA?
Yeah, hold on a second. You got it? Yeah. What? No. Once we
Can I get New York to Recon?
You bet.
once he comes into our radar, we will. We'll be
Yes, with American 11.
Say it again?
Oh, a reference to American 11.
Right, have you had any contact with him yet?
No contact. It is confirmed hijack though. Tracon. Hey, Tracon, hi, Boston Center. Good morning, American 11. 767, possible hijack.
American 11, 775, and
right now, we don't have any idea, but he was to the northwest of Albany, and now he's down by Sparta, using speed.
Yeah, like that passengers on board.
It's primary only.
14-5.
United 73,
we believe he's under descent, that's why he's
No idea how many people are on board right now. They came from
United 175 in the inspection. United 175 in the inspection, roger.
South. They're going the wrong way, obviously.
Okay.
He was in 583 New York.
583, go ahead.
Do me a favor. There's an aircraft that they had threatening things off to the left. Did they ask you to look for an aircraft? It's an American flight. He's about 8 to 9 o'clock right now and about 10 miles from me. It's just heading southbound. The last reported altitude on him was 29, and nobody's not sure what he might be at.
Yeah, we talked about him on the last frequency. We spotted him when he was at our 3 o'clock position, and he did appear to us to be at 29,000 feet. We're not picking him up on the TCAS. I'll look again and see if we can spot him at 20 more.
No, it looks like they shut off the transponder. That's why the question about it.
New York, United 175, heavy.
United 175, go ahead.
We figured we wait to go to your center. We heard a suspicious transmission on our departure out of Boston with someone keyed the mic and said, everyone stay in your seats.
United 93, wind 3307, runway 4
I'll
left.
pass it along over here.
Eagle 665, York Tower, caution runway 4 left, taxi to position, hold.
United 175 just came on my frequency, and he said that they heard a suspicious transmission when they were leaving Boston. Oh, yeah? Everybody stay in their seat. That's what they heard as a suspicious transmission. Just to let you know. And that U.S. Air 583 thought the American he spotted him was at 29.
Okay.
Okay?
All right, thanks a lot.
Just to let you know, 55, I don't really want to talk to you right now. This guy will...
Where do you find him in relation to 583 now?
He's off about 9 o'clock and just about 20 miles from me. It looks like
I've
he's
never
heading
seen so much real world
but there's
stuff
no
happening
transponder,
during
no nothing, and no one's talking to him.
Speed, that long. 41, right, what was that?
290,
Okay, find this guy. Yeah, 41, and we're putting it in.
1443.
1443, look for it, right there. Okay, look 1443, last known. No, this is real world. Okay, we're in my chat.
I got a D-point.
Sir, last known position that we got out of this guy was right there at the D-point.
New York
He's
Center,
heading 190, 29,000
310.
heading down. So we're looking for somebody. You know what? Just start hitting up tracks all around that area, that D-point. Okay, just north of SDMCC, Scramble Otis.
Copy, same mission. MCC, I don't know where I'm scrambling these guys to. I need a direction, destination.
Okay, I'm going to give you the Z-point. It's just north of New York City.
I got this lat long, 4115, 7436, or 7346.
Yeah,
Head them in that direction.
ELC on 21.5. It was brief, but it went off.
Okay, they said it's confirmed, believe it or not, as a thing. We're not sure yet, so we're still trying to... going on another aircraft right now, and they're trying to see what altitude he's at.
NBC, Ray Howland.
Ray Holland, Nancy Wyatt, Boston Flight Service.
Yes.
Okay, we've got the flight attendants on the line here.
You do have them on the line?
On the plane, yeah.
Can you conference them in with us?
I have no idea how to do that. If you can help me out. He's getting some information here. I'm going to read his notes for you. It looks like he's
72433 at 290. We'll pick up that ELC2, but it's very faint.
You're making a nice tight turn with help. Traffic 11 o'clock and about 10 miles northbound. Just turning eastbound at 31.
We'll make it tight.
Yeah, thanks.
Canada 307 on 280, please.
Yes. Okay, the flight attendants are concerned they don't know what's going on in the cockpit. Are you in contact with them?
No, we're not. We're trying to get in contact with the cockpit.
Okay. You'll feel like you're...
Okay. We don't really want to tell her that.
Okay, don't... Okay, got it. Okay, we're not sure. Okay, it looks like there is severe bleeding that, keeping her on the line.
With an active air defense scramble 4, Panta 4546, time 1246, authenticate, Delta X-ray, scramble immediately, Panta 4546, heading 280, flight level 290, contact Huntress on frequency 228.9er, backup.
Doctor, we lost the other Amy Sweeney?
Yeah, he's in 09.
Okay.
He's having trouble talking to her right now.
What's the reaction?
We just had a plane crash into level 4 of the World Trade Center, transmit a second alarm, and start relocating companies into the area.
Hey, Beth. What is that? Somebody hit the World Trade Center or the...
It's a trade center.
The World Trade Center.
Okay, we just lost
fire on the upper floors.
Lost the connection.
Yeah.
Just an explosion.
The World Trade Center or the...
It's a trade center.
The World Trade
Center.
There's a fire on the upper floors.
Okay, they're in the back of the plane.
They're in the back of the airplane?
351, contact New York Center on 134.32.
Oh, the hijackers are in the cockpit.
3432, Delta 351.
Delta 1489, are you on the frequency?
Delta 1489 out of 310 for 390.
Delta 1489, New York Center, roger. Clear direct to Pottstown.
Direct Pottstown, Delta 1489 heavy.
Roger.
Looks like we lost the primary target about 20 west of Kennedy, and we had a report of an EOT in the area. We're going to, I guess we'll get some Coast Guard activity up there.
Yeah, we lost the track, too.
Hey, Boston, this is New York. What type aircraft was the American?
167.
Tower, what is it? What's ready Kia Optima? We got a Kia September clearance. You should have got a Toyota Camry. I got leather seats. Me too. E6 engine?
This is the ACI watch. Say again, if you lost track of the aircraft, over?
Boston has lost track, and on our frequency we have confirmed that it was a hijack.
Get amazing deals on the 2001 Monster and Kia September clearance event. Hurry, event ends October 1st.
Amazing Blue Stone ointment stops itching fast. Athlete's foot, jock itch, psoriasis, ringworm, scalp itch, stops corn and callus growth fast. Winter itch, dry crack.
Kennedy Tower reports. Kennedy Tower reports that there was a fire at the World Trade Center. And that's the area where we lost the airplane.
A few moments ago, something believed to be a plane crashed into the south tower of the World Trade Center.
Delta 2315, contact the New York Center on 134.6. Have a nice day.
We have no idea what it was.
Delta 2315, good.
You can hear around the emergency
34.6.
heading towards the scene. Now, this could have been an aircraft, or it could have been something internal. It appears to be something coming from the outside due to the nature of the opening on about the 100th floor of the south tower of the World Trade Center. Police vehicles and fire vehicles are zipping by me here. We just have no idea. So to the south of the tower, we see some particles, also some gray smoke.
And you'll get there at 429,
black smoke. This would indicate things are burning inside. We have no idea of what happened.
I'm sorry, who was that?
But we did hear
Yes, sir, 429, 11350.
All right, yes, sir, 429 here.
And then a tremendous boom. Now, I don't know whether we could confirm that that was an aircraft or not. David, what did you hear? What would you say you heard? This is our cameraman, Dave Stolick.
Incredible explosion. Very, very loud.
How about you?
Sounded like a bomb.
Well, it could be. It could be something internal as well. There are pieces of
Anybody know what that smoke is in Lower Manhattan?
Of the World Trade Center sticking out.
A lot of smoke in Lower Manhattan.
As I say, this
a lot of
appears
smoke
to
in
be
Lower Manhattan.
about the
Coming out of the top of the World Trade Center building, the major fire.
I hope we can get some further information from the newsroom up there, Jim.
Ollie down with live dope every morning. She would check his teeth like a horse. She looked in the toilet at his feces to see if there was tapeworms. But mind you,
I got it now.
the time that there were...
This is a special
And
report from News
which was the one that just saw the major fire?
Good morning, everybody. I am
This
Jane
building, 1489, we can see the Lower Manhattan. It looks like the World Trade Center's on fire, but it's hard to tell from here.
He has seen
Oh, the 1489, Roger.
crash into the World Trade Center. His name is Tony Arrigo. He is on East 12th Street. Tony, can you please tell us what you witnessed?
Yes, I can tell you what happened. I was
Let us know if you hear any views down there.
a roaring engine coming. We looked up and there was a plane. Next thing you know, we heard boom. We ran up to the corner and hit right into the World Trade Center.
Elmira, Rotel 30. Oh, 1043, clear direct to Pottstown.
It had to be a 737.
Pottstown, 1043.
It was a big, big plane.
Okay, and what do you see at this point?
Oh, smoke and screaming and...
Air 175, recycle your transponder and score code of 1470.
Traveling down that way. Oh my God Almighty, the black smoke all over the place. I hope nobody, if there's got to be somebody
175 New York.
People that went to work.
Look, Tony, we don't have any confirmation from any officials of this happening. Just repeat again, you were just going outside.
I was bringing the garbage out to the freight entrance when we heard this roaring engine. We looked up and there was the plane.
So, United 175, do you read New York?
We'll intercept it. We heard a boom. We went to the corner and
the 1489, do you read New York?
Trade Center or
something? 1489, go ahead.
Okay, just want to make sure you read New York. United.
United 175, we had a phone call that came down to us saying that they had a possible hijack out of Boston. Okay. And I just flipped around and
we were on the 93 line.
737 hit the World Trade Center. And I was just curious at the same time if that was the aircraft. Last I knew they had a primary on it. The track was not squawking 7500, but it was under duress.
Kingston 93 line, you
Still continue to go.
Okay.
Kingston 93 line, East Texas. Kingston, do me a favor, see if United 175 went back onto your frequency.
United 175?
Yes.
10 minutes ago?
That's about all.
Okay. And again, we're putting our camera in. We are pushing our camera into the top of the World Trade Center, and we can see that there appears to be some fairly significant damage to the top of it.
Oh, yes, there's got to be at least 15 floors that were hit with the plane.
Tony, you know, I'm keeping asking you to describe this for me because as I'm telling you...
Do me a favor, you see that car gets buried at 3321 3335? I don't know who you are. Nobody's shooting at the hijack. We have some calls over here right now. That may be real.
All right, our last actual reported position is he didn't crash into the World Trade Center. It's 20 miles south of JFK. So I want you to take him down into this area, hold as needed. Whatever altitude they need to go for center to make that work is fine with me. That's the area I want him to go in, right in that little gap.
Stories that had it banged into.
Uh-huh.
Oh, and it's halfway in the building.
US Air 583, go ahead.
And
again, reports on over the radio, a meter point hitting the World Trade Center. Is that
only an eyewitness and only what we are showing you on our live sky cam at this moment. But there does appear to be a plane of some sort that has crashed into the World Trade Center. If you look, it appears the top... It's not, very close to the top, but we can see that the building, there is a lot of structural damage and there is a lot of smoke. Tony, thank you very much. We appreciate you sharing this, what you witnessed with us.
Thank you. I'm on 31 East 12th Street.
Okay, we are now going to go to another eyewitness, Ed Buddha. Ed, can you please tell us what you witnessed?
We have him in sight, sir.
Delta 2315 started yelling and screaming, and smoke and flames were coming out towards the building.
Yeah, he's in sight. Where's the traffic in relation to Delta 2415?
We're talking about 12 miles from you. He appears to be turning eastbound right now.
It's really bad. A lot of people, I just heard somebody say that
right now he's out at 29, and it looks like.
You cannot physically see any remnants of an airplane or anything such as that, can you not?
Delta 2315, can you tell me what kind of aircraft that is?
Ed, are you still on the telephone with me? That was Ed Buddha, another eyewitness who was on a ferry, and apparently we've lost our contact with Ed at this hour. Take a look at these pictures. They are live pictures on Skycam that is looking at one of the World Trade Center buildings in Lower Manhattan. You can see that there has been some sort of damage to this building. At this point, we do not know exactly what happened. We've had an eyewitness named Tony Arrigo who was on East 12th Street, looked up into the sky, and he says it appears to him that an airplane struck the upper portion of that building. We are now going to go to Mary Corza on the telephone, who is another eyewitness. Mary, can you tell us what you saw? Can you please tell us what you saw and where you are?
I'm at 14th Street and 5th Avenue, and we saw a plane flying low overhead.
Yes, sir, 542, was it a 757?
We looked up, it was making a beeline to the World Trade Center. It was very low,
Yeah, it looks like a
extremely low, not a big plane like an airliner.
That was him, I could have got a better look at it.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry, I have to look at the traffic appears to be about
American 77 American Navy.
about 3 miles from the descending at 29.7. We believe it's a hijacked aircraft.
2433, I just to give you an idea.
Right now he's getting 3 heavy negative contact.
Have you witnessed any people coming up?
American 77
Okay, thank you. Delta 2315, direct Modena on course.
Sirens coming, so they did alert people right away, obviously.
Yes.
American 77 American radio check. How do you read?
What the delivery was?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I would say 15 to 18 stories, and there is debris falling off
This
that
is
building.
Henderson American 77. I don't know what happened to him. I'm trying to
I was
read
heading you westbound for Sterling 937.
Looked like he took a turn to the south, and now I don't know what altitude he's at or what he's doing. Last night he said head towards Falmouth at 35. Okay, I'll try to get a hold of him. Thanks.
What you saw was
American 1023, contact Indy Center on 123.77. Good day.
2377, American 1023, good day.
USA 1751, center maintained by the 350.
We might have a hijack over here, 2 of them.
And center 583.
So, Delta 2433, okay, coming back.
33.
Okay, the aircraft with light color.
Delta 1489 is coming to you also.
Okay, you can hear a jet coming
Delta
overhead.
1489, contact New York Center now on 134.32.
We all looked up.
1489, 3432.
Delta 2433, thank you for the help. That United just took off, and we're not really sure what he's doing. You thought it was United 767, though.
But it wasn't dropping.
That's what it looked like.
Thank you, Delta 2433, 4227, join J75.
American 77, Indy Center. How do you read?
270 and join the jet route Delta
The
2433.
airplane did not appear to be in trouble to you.
I don't know.
That's center
American 77, Indy radio check. How do you read?
It wasn't nose down, or it wasn't swerving up and down or left and right. It was
Just there 583. I hate to keep burning you with this stuff, but now we're picking up another ELC on 21.5.
It sounds to be an awful lot of people that are either crying or sobbing or something in the back.
3432, yes sir, 583, good day.
My thought is thinking about how many people are out there who, aren't anymore.
US Air 542.
Exactly. And Mary, again, thank you very much. I appreciate your comments.
It was a light colored paint scheme with a dark tail. I thought it was a Delta airplane.
US Air 542, thank you, and I'm sorry I didn't
the line is in the big
head on.
Don't look at it. And again, we have no confirmation of exactly what happened, but it is obviously clear that something has hit the
The Senator still haven't got American 77. Last he was at 35 going to Falmouth, so I don't know where he is out there anywhere yet. So I'll try to get a hold of him and contact the company.
Okay. We can see thick black smoke. We have seen flames erupting.
American Dispatch, Jim Collins.
This is Indianapolis Center. Trying to get a hold of American 77.
Hang on 1 second, please.
What?
Hang on 1 second, sir. All right. What are you trying to get a hold of?
American 77.
She heard a sound
On frequency 120.27.
and she saw this airplane
120.
into the building.
0.27. We were talking to them, and all of a sudden it's just,
Liberty South, Yardley 88
All right, we'll get a hold for you.
All right. Be in any kind of trouble, but
Liberty
again,
South, Yardley 88 line.
Soccer
580, climb up to 28.
To know exactly what happened. We obviously at this moment are trying to find out exactly what did happen. There are numerous emergency vehicles and officials that have raced to the scene. We do not know in terms of injuries or fatalities. We have absolutely no information about that at this point in time. All we can tell you is that something has obviously crashed into the World Trade Center, and our eyewitnesses have told us it was an airplane of some sort.
American 2493.
2493, go ahead.
Yeah, we sent a message to dispatch to have them come up on 2027. Is that what you want them to do?
Yeah, we had them on the website. They went into code, and I don't have track on them. Now they want to talk to me. We don't exactly what happened.
Of course, there was a lot of shock and a lot of sadness from the people who looked up into the sky and witnessed this just a short time ago. You can see we have Chopper 4 is now on the scene. April and Monica, what can you tell us from your vantage point?
Well, what
Southwest
we can
425,
see right here as we were coming up the Hudson River, we can see thick black smoke indicating the fire is still going on right now in the World Trade Center. For as far as the eye can see, and you can tell right here at the top of this tower, there's a huge gaping hole, flames still inside, thick black smoke still coming out. We have not been able to see what, if any kind of an aircraft is inside the building. This is the best vantage point right here, and as you can see, just a huge gaping hole throughout the entire side of this tower right now.
April, can you see down to the street to see what might be going on down there? Are there signs of the people that have evacuated the building?
yeah, this is Indianapolis Center. We talked to the same guy about American 77.
Yeah. I so-called them, but I didn't get a reply.
We lost track control of the guys in coast track, so we have.
Can you look out your window right now? Can you see a guy about 4,000 feet, about 5 east of the airport right now? Looks like he's...
Yeah,
is he descending through the building also?
He's descending really quick too, yeah.
Yeah, we have no radar contact and no communication with them.
That's another situation.
We're doing it.
All right, thanks a lot.
What kind of airplane is that? Can you guys tell?
I don't know. I'll read it out in a minute.
Up there and, fight it from inside.
Another one just hit the building.
If you're taking a look now, you can see that we just had another explosion, and that is considerably lower. And is that in the other building? Is that what I'm witnessing?
That apparently does look like it is in the other building at this point.
And that looks to be lower, which means
there's another aircraft. The second one just hit the trade center.
Above that explosion that we just saw.
Yeah, we got to alert the military real quick on this.
Understood, answer your line.
Yeah, this is,
so go ahead. What time, sir? Copy, sir. Thank you. They had a second call.
The studio in Glen.
United 175.
Any other information, but perhaps you can again
what is it?
Go over what
United 175 is the other aircraft. Mode 33321. Who were you talking? I was talking to New York.
US Air 1621 descended maintained by level 330.
This building has been.
We're going to stop right there. We're going to stop Boston down. I suggest we stand elsewhere. You're going to do what? We're shutting the airplane down. We're not letting anyone go right now.
That's a good move. Get an answer.
We're putting ground stop on everything. There's a second plane that just hit the World Trade Center.
Stop all departures out of the airport.
So yeah, that's what we're doing.
After what we just witnessed, that was a dramatic explosion.
77 Indy.
Again, it was in the separate tower, the one where the plane just crashed into about a half hour ago.
Yes, and again, there was no sign of any airplane close to that explosion, nor was there any reason to believe it would be that it could have been an after effect or a repercussion of the original, what we believe was an
United 395, it's level 350.
Both of them now appear to be on fire. We have no word of casualties, injuries, fatalities. What you can see is heavy, heavy black smoke. You can see flames. How far down do you think that goes on the second of the World Trade Center?
3377 Northwest 150 today.
Floors below where the plane crashed into the original fire that we saw in the separate building. But that, as I said, it just looked like an explosion. It had nothing to do with the plane crashing into the first building.
Exactly, and of course there are thousands of employees in those buildings. It is a regular work day. We have no information about anybody who is inside there and what kind of shape they might be in. We, at this point, are seeking confirmation of exactly what happened, particularly what just happened with this second apparent explosion. And I don't even know.
We're going to look at the tape of this last explosion. Maybe we can pick up something here. As we said, we were talking about what was going on, and then suddenly there was a big explosion in the second building.
There it is.
There it is right there.
Seems to be completely unrelated to the first one.
I didn't catch it, but I have to say, it looks like something went into the building.
Yes.
Possibly another airplane.
Well, maybe perhaps from the other side, because we've only got the one vantage point here.
Tommy Cherry, it's confirmed on that tape that they said we have planes.
Is that eyewitnesses have told us that I'm sorry.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
We have another witness on the phone. Arlene Morris, are you there? Can you tell us what you saw?
Yes, I was looking at my desk and I heard this big boom, a loud sound.
47 uniform office,
I looked out the window, the top floor on the World Trade Center. There's flames that's coming down, crashing down to the ground on the west side. All the cars, and they were like running into each other, and the flames just started coming down real
Southwest 113, contact Indy Center on 123.77, good day.
What building are you in?
2377, Southwest 113, good day.
The opposite side to the World Trade Center. I'm in the C Tower.
Did you just see
217, send and maintain flight level 350.
350, yes sir, 217.
Boom again, it just exploded again.
Option 445, contact Indy Center 123.77 today.
2377, option 445. American Dispatch, Jim McDonald.
Indianapolis Center, did you get a hold of American 77 by chance?
No, sir, but we have an second airplane in the World Trade Center.
To my vision. I really can't see
Say
too
again?
much.
You know we lost American 11.
Thank you very much, Arlene. Please get out of that building and seek safety.
Right now, thank you very much.
Okay, be safe. We have another witness, Janice, is on the telephone. I'm not sure if it's our Janice.
I can't really, I can't hear what you're saying there. You said American 11?
Yes, we were hijacked.
No, listen.
It is reported an LA flight.
Yes.
And
77 is a Dulles LA flight.
the building, the first building, the one with the tower.
I have an unconfirmed report, a second airplane just flew into the World Trade Center.
Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Okay, Foxy, this is what I foresee that we probably need to do. We need to talk to FAA and tell them if this stuff's going to keep on going, we need to take those fighters and put them over Manhattan. Okay? That's the best thing. That's the best play right now. So, coordinate with the FAA, tell them if there's more out there, which we don't know, let's get them over Manhattan. At least we got some kind of hope.
I noticed that there was a small plane coming around the side of the building. You see it there on the right?
I see it. I see it.
So it's coming down the thing that's plane.
There it is right there.
I see it.
And then it goes boom right there. What?
Okay, this is what I got going.
Absolutely right.
Cal, Foxy, Scramble, Langley, in the same location. Battle station or Scramble?
It was a plane.
Battle station's only Langley.
United 395, turn 10 degrees to the left, extra traffic.
Okay, you're listening? What I told you, fighters
US 217,
over
contact
Manhattan,
Indy Center on
because we don't know how many guys are out of
134.22, good
black
day.
with History 2. I don't know. Just, okay, not down to Whiskey 105 where they want FAA wants to hold. We need more FAA and strictly telling me, you know,
Exactly happened there. We can only
we're working in my there.
Now here we're going to look at this tape again. Here it comes.
Yeah.
I think we definitely have to.
Okay.
Subject speculation. This definitely could be a deliberate attack.
Yeah, well, we can't. They're in the FAA airspace. Well, we can. Yeah, there are.
What Janice has pointed out to us. There it comes.
Okay.
It's not in the screen yet.
Canada 579, contact Indy Center on 133.77. Good day.
3377, Air
That's 2431. We have a message for you to heighten your cockpit security due to some activity this morning.
Okay, and that is from company?
Negative. It's a general advisory to all aircraft. This morning an aircraft hit the World Trade Center has been hijacked. And we're receiving reports that there may have been a second one.
Okay, thank you very much. Was it a domestic carrier that was hijacked?
It was an American Airlines aircraft.
Okay, thank you.
We had two people that told us that they saw an airplane,
1621,
medium-sized airplane going into the first tower, and then we just showed you what we saw on the videotape.
Yes. Let's go to April and Monica up at Chopper 4 with some more information. April?
April, can you hear us? I guess we'll get to April in just a moment. I know that they've certainly made April and any of the other choppers who are in the area trying to cover the story back up, because obviously what they want to do is get their work done in terms of rescue and
FedEx 3258 Heavy 350.
FedEx 3258 I would imagine especially after seeing that second airplane crash into the second tower, I would imagine that the military right now is up in the skies, and I'm sure that they are certainly scanning the area for any more aircraft that could possibly be trying to come into the area.
You will remember that the World Trade Towers were the subject of an attack. How many years ago was it now? 10, 11? I can't even remember for sure. Again, there has been a lot of security there. There has been obviously they've been very consistent in keeping those buildings rather secure. So once again, we
always secure at the bottom.
That's right.
You know, you can't get it from ground level, but obviously very vulnerable up in the sky.
Exactly. So let us, again, reiterate what we know and what we think we know, because this is something that happened about 25 minutes ago.
Yes.
There were two explosions. The first one happened, maybe it was a half an hour ago, and there were eyewitnesses that told us on the first of the towers, the one that is closest to me, or closest to your screen, I should say, eyewitnesses told us they witnessed an airplane that apparently was making a beeline for that building, and there was an explosion, and you can see the damage. Then,
just a couple of minutes ago, we saw a second explosion. When we went back and looked at the videotape, it was very clear that a plane was coming. It was very clear that a plane was coming from the right over the Hudson River and went between the two buildings and then slammed into the second building. That was the second explosion. First time we saw it, we didn't really catch the plane, but after a call from Janisoff, she pointed it out to us, and sure enough, the second aircraft looked like it made a deliberate beeline for the second tower. We saw that explosion just a little bit lower than the original explosion in the first tower.
Obviously, this is already having quite an effect on the city of New York. Here take a look at this video. Let's just look at this one more time. There you see the plane.
Between the two buildings.
And then you see the explosion.
Right there. Unbelievable.
Let us tell you that all of the airports in the New York City metropolitan area are closed down right now. Subway lines 1, 2, 3, and 9 have all been, the service has been, it's been cut off for the moment. And we will continue to bring you up to date on what is going on, and we actually, are hoping we'll be able to talk to somebody from the mayor's office in just a few minutes to see what they might do.
Okay, right now, let's, as you can see, the chopper force had to back off. Let's go back to April and Monica up top. April?
Okay, what we can tell you right now from up here in Chopper 4, we cannot get any closer than about 5 miles to the scene because we need to keep this far back. But you can see the black smoke as far as we are away. We can zoom in here for you. First, you saw the smoke from the one tower. Then we witnessed an explosion on the other tower. Now we think that there was a plane that actually headed into that second tower at some point, and that's what caused that second explosion. We are unable to get close enough to actually show you or tell you what's going on at the ground, but an unbelievable sight here from above the Hudson River at this vantage point. Back to you.
Just looking at the wire service at this point, and it tells us that the FBI is investigating reports of a plane hijacking before the World Trade Center crashes. Now, that's all they're telling us. We know nothing more than that. Again, what's been happening here this morning, we have no absolute confirmation of anything other than what we can see with our own eyes. And now the FBI is telling us that there has been some sort of a plane hijacking that they're investigating.
Yeah, we have another witness on the telephone right now who actually saw the second explosion. Elena?
Cortella. Elena, can you hear us?
Yes, I hear you clearly.
Where are you? Tell us what you saw.
Well, actually, I was washing my dishes at my window, and I heard a very low plane, which usually does happen, but when I looked up, it was like I was actually gliding with it, and I saw it actually went straight into one of the Twin Towers. It was like it sunk right into the floor. It disintegrated instantly.
Can you tell us what kind of an airplane it was?
It looked like a huge 747. It was a big airline. It wasn't a small jet. It was a big carrier.
And you couldn't see anybody? Could you see a pilot or any such thing?
No, I actually it was like side by side. It was like I was right behind it. It was huge. I couldn't believe how low it was. I was telling my roommate, this plane is very low. And I actually saw it go straight into the Twin Towers. Like,
Command Center East, Boston. Listen, both of these aircraft departed Boston, both for 76s, both heading to LA. And I'm looking out on the TSD, and I think that all departures out of Boston should have heightened cockpit security. Is there any way you can bring up every center in the country and relay that message so that they can tell the aircraft that are out there flying right now to increase the cockpit security, vigilant on this day? I'll get the message out. Thank you very much.
I was like a nervous wreck.
Well, I don't blame you. I appreciate you.
It really was awful, and all I can say is we should pray for those people, because it looked to me that it was deliberate. Unless the pilot had a heart attack, it was like this big 747 just went right into the floor of the Twin Towers.
Well, Elena, yes. We thank you very much for calling us and giving us this information.
Absolutely.
And, obviously stick with us, because we are...
Are you able to confirm anything within your airline to us?
For sure yet, other than the fact that
unfortunately.
How about, can you tell me if we know for sure it was American 11 that went into the Trade Center?
We think that's who it was.
Okay.
And we're missing another plane also.
What flight are you missing?
77.
And when was the last time you knew for sure something about him?
He was in...
You said we are getting reports that the FBI is investigating possibly these two.
I don't know how he got up there, but 677 is up there also.
Okay,
he's out of Dulles.
Okay, and...
Dulles, LA, and they both apparently have been hijacked. And 11, we're pretty sure is in there, and 77, we were talking to him, according to Indianapolis Center, 45 minutes ago.
Obviously, it had to be a fairly recent
I don't know how he got
indeed what happened, because there were
back to the Trade Center. I have no idea if that happened.
Okay, it may not have. We have another call sign. Of course, we don't know for sure any of these call signs right now, but if we find that it's your aircraft, we'll certainly give you a call.
Okay, so you have two airplanes in the Trade Center?
Yeah.
And you don't know who either one of them are for sure?
We were on the air, and this is what we saw. Look over to...
If I did, I would share it with you.
Okay, thanks.
All right, bye, Bill.
And in just a couple of minutes, as we widen out here, you will see what appears to be a relatively small aircraft moving into the shot.
We just all our traffic off the Boston Center. Nobody is departing, and we're rerouting all Kennedy arrivals around New York Metro airports. Over. I have a question for you in case we have any more aircraft.
And there you see it.
Start deviating. We need to know, do you have everybody on alert, or is that something you can do just in case this happens for any more aircraft?
We don't know if it was hijacked. We don't know if it was full of passengers or not.
We do not know. We simply know at this point that we have the tops of two towers that are clearly in flames. We are going to continue to seek out the information for you, which we already have eyewitnesses have told us.
Hey, how are you doing? Space Tiffany.
Well, we have the first plane crashing into the tower. Nobody's departing Boston. Be on your right.
In all airspace, Boston Center.
If you phone calls, people said it looked like the plane delivered into the building. Some people were not too sure. About 18 minutes later, right here on live television, second plane
whatever they're going to do, and we were just wondering if you have any more alerts.
I got fighters in Whiskey 105 right now. I have a tanker there as well. I got other aircraft on alert down at Langley, and I'm getting ready to. I have trackers over JFK, over Boston, and in that area right now. I'm just looking for anything.
Yes, she said it looked like a
huge
aircraft, and again, the FBI is investigating.
Okay, so JFK and Boston are shut down, correct?
Let's get our telephone once again. We have Kay Cummings on the phone. Kay, what can you tell us?
Okay, and if you get anything, if you get any of your controllers, see anything, look kind of squirrely, give us a yell. We'll get those fighters and that little bit. Okay?
It looks like a commercial plane.
Cleveland, good morning, Delta 1989 with the 350.
Delta 1989, Cleveland Center.
And then it went right in.
And a 3243 maintained flight level 283.
Now, was this the first plane or the second?
Second plane.
The second plane.
I didn't see the first one.
And where exactly are you?
I'm on 12th Street in Hudson, and I have an unobstructed view of the World Trade Center from my bedroom.
Okay, and that airplane appeared to you to be pretty good size as well, is that correct?
Yeah, it looked like a commercial airplane. It came from the Jersey side, southwest side, coming toward the World Trade Center, very low.
We have now reports on the wires that the FBI is investigating this as foul play, a crime here, obviously. It looks like this is definitely deliberate.
Kay, what can you tell us about what you can see from the neighborhood right now? Do you see? I mean, can you see the street at all? Can you see anything?
No, I'm I'm in the village.
Okay.
All I can tell you is that there are loads of fire engines and police cars and sirens all heading down.
And
any radio team here?
Can I help you?
Goggins Military, Boston Center. Just had a report that American 11 is still in the air and it's on its way heading towards Washington.
Okay, American 11 is still in the air on its way towards Washington.
There was definitely another aircraft that hit the tower. That's the latest report we have.
Okay.
I'm going to try to confirm an ID for you, but I would assume he's somewhere over either New Jersey or somewhere further south.
Okay, so American 11 isn't the hijack at all then, right?
No, he is a hijack.
American 11 is a hijack.
Yes.
And he's going into Washington?
This could be a third aircraft.
It could be a third aircraft going on to Washington. Do you have a mode 3 on him, sir?
No, mode 3, we're trying to get a radio team if I can. This is a report I had from Washington Center. You might want to get someone on another phone talking to Washington Center, see if they have them tracked up.
Copy that.
And then get maybe DC Guard or somebody up there on the aircraft.
Okay, do you have a left on right now on it?
I will try to get one.
Okay, copy, thanks.
Center, that was a major disaster, and a lot of fatalities there. And this is obviously very frightening to have this happen.
Give me a location. 46 airborne now. That's the ones we take. Third aircraft hijack heading towards Washington. Okay, American Airlines is still airborne. 11, the first guy, he's heading towards Washington. Okay, I think we need to scramble Langley right now, and I'm gonna take the fighters from Otis and try to chase this guy down if I can find him.
Anything like that, and we certainly would not want to speculate at this point. Emergency crews are on the scene.
Sure.
We will bring you what information we can get from them as soon as
he's heading towards Langley, or I should say Washington.
The FBI
American 11, the original guy, is still airborne. We're still getting a... Foxy, scramble Langley, head towards the Washington area. Roger that. Could be American. Hold on a second.
They were, what size they were, but eyewitnesses have told us they
We're trying to get a code on this guy right now. We do have a tail number.
Some people are saying it's a small
It's
craft. Some people are saying it's like
what was the tail number? 4542.
And the FBI is investigating this as foul play, which I think is pretty obvious at this point.
November 33.
Just have to wait and see what happens here, but this is...
Washington
Hunters, reference American 11, possible hijack, New York was called. Do you have a mode 3 on him by any chance?
Hold on a second. That's the first I heard of that. AAL-11. Let's see what we got. Nothing stored on American 11. Let's see if maybe it's 011. Nope, don't have anything on him.
Okay, because apparently 2 aircraft crashed into the World Trade Center. We thought one of them was American 11. New York calls us back saying he was on its way to Washington, still being the hijack.
Well, I've only been here about 10 minutes. I'm not real sure about what's going on with that. But we don't have anything on it.
Okay.
Was it American 11?
11, one of them? We think so, but we don't know.
Okay, can you guys give us a call when you're done?
Yep, as soon as we get it all sorted out, we'll talk to you.
Copy, thanks.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Katie,
Katie, Tim Nasher, can I help you?
Yes, Colin, it's military Boston.
Hi.
Yeah, you didn't get my lat long point, did you?
No, I didn't get your lat long point.
Okay, it was a disregard those. I didn't want to say it was a VFR target, but we do have, we did hear from Washington that there is an aircraft, they believe it's American 11, and he is southwest, so we just don't have a point. You might want to talk to someone in Washington about it, see if they can confirm.
Yeah, I called Washington, and they can't confirm anything. They're still trying, I guess shift change, they're sorting crap out.
Yeah, okay, you might, yeah, I don't know if they might want to alert some aircraft down there, though, too.
Okay.
Just in case.
We have Langley on battle stations right now.
Okay, all right. And, keep me advised of anything else. If I hear anything more on American 11, I will let you know. We did hear something about an ELT, simultaneous EOT, so it might have crashed, too.
A simultaneous EOT?
ELT. Simultaneous ELT when someone said they heard contact from them. So, hold on a second.
All right, copy.
Danny, anything else about American 11?
Well, again, can we reiterate what we do know? Because as you can imagine, this is pretty shocking to people in the metropolitan area.
United 93 checking M350. United 93
350. What we've been told by eyewitnesses is that they saw
Are they taking the Philadelphia stuff as airborne already? Or if it's airborne,
of the World Trade Center towers, the one on your right, as you're looking at the screen, that was at about 10 minutes to 9. Then, about 18 minutes later, there was apparently an airplane, because we could see that from our own sky cams and our Chopper 4 video that went into the second tower, and there was a resulting explosion there.
Hey, Jay, we have another witness on the telephone. Todd Hollerman, can you hear us?
Thanks, appreciate it. You may still want to talk to your company and see what your alternate plans are. I don't know if you heard about the accident on New York.
Yeah, we just, I don't know, the ADF trying to find out. Sounds pretty serious out there.
Which water? You talking crossing the Hudson?
Right. This would be the second explosion?
Right.
And from your vantage point, could you tell what kind of an airplane it is? There seems to be a lot of confusion about that.
It looked huge. I couldn't tell exactly what kind it was. It's just tremendous. I was just saying to my coworkers, look at the size of this thing. It looks like some kind of stealth fighter or something.
And what you saw was it deliberately aiming for the building. It didn't appear to be a plane that was in any kind of trouble, anything like that.
Right. I thought I was watching like a movie scene. It was moving in quickly. It was moving in close.
Did you see any insignia on that airplane?
No, I didn't.
Lorraine, Patterson, 89.9.
And you then saw it hit the tower.
Right.
And I'm just curious, did you at that point see any other reaction? Did you hear anything? Did you see anything when you saw that initial explosion?
No, I'm not close enough to really hear anything, I don't think, but I'm just looking out my window right now in shock, watching this thing burn.
Yeah, as we all are, Todd, thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Lorraine Patterson,
we appreciate your information.
Sure.
Jay, we just learned that President Bush was in a classroom in Sarasota, Florida.
Lorraine Patterson,
United 1523 traffic at 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock, 4 miles eastbound, Flight 370.
The President will be coming up.
Let's go, United 1523. United 93, that traffic for you is 1 o'clock, 12 miles eastbound, 370.
Again, we have not heard from emergency workers on the
Negative
scene
contact, we're looking at United 93.
the damage or the injuries at this point. One would have to assume on a day like today, a normal workday in New York City, 9 o'clock in the morning, most of those offices were probably open. And there were certainly a lot of people in those two buildings. To our knowledge, people in the lower levels have been evacuated. But at this point, we simply cannot bring you any information about what is going on.
That's some river crossings and heading to talking. You see the George Washington Bridge, traffic has absolutely stopped. Traffic going in to see, you can see on the bridge, there's absolutely no cars whatsoever.
Right turn back. We'll just put them in back to St. Louis and they can put them wherever they want before we can
The subway line lines 1, 2, 3, and 9
Air Canada continues its climb, can you take them climb to 35 or 39?
Doesn't
look like it.
Again, to reiterate the point about the FBI said to be investigating whether or not there was some hijacking.
Also, an anonymous government official said that it would appear that this was not one but two suicide bombers deliberately turning planes on each of the towers at the World Trade Center, and obviously you can see the disastrous result.
Let us go to Richard Thompson on the telephone. He is a licensed pilot and he witnessed this.
You got United 93?
Taking a look at what you saw, what can you tell us as a pilot about those airplanes?
What's that?
Well, I was sitting in my
I just saying, it looks like he descended there. United 93, verify 350.
Approximately 9:47, and at 9:47, give it
United 93, verify your flight level 350.
8:47 this morning. The plane went by probably...
They went 16 Mach Fox out of 39.8 for 410.
Directly towards the World Trade Center, and
Level 16 Mach Fox, Roger. United 93, verify your level of 350.
My window view is so short, but I could hear it screaming by at basically
United 93, Cleveland.
No engine problem.
United 1523, Cleveland.
And by the time that I could
get out of my chair,
turn
20 degrees right.
See what the hell was going on, that was probably a total of 5 to 7, 8 seconds.
So that
United 93,
the first
that was the first.
The explosions.
Exactly, and it was directly, everyone was flying.
United 93 at the Air Cleveland Center,
the President. We're going to go to him next, but we want to come back to you.
Okay.
Hey, back to Washington after remarks. Secretary Brad Pace and Lieutenant Governor will take the podium and discuss education.
Who's that 561 Alpha Charlie? At 561 Alpha Charlie, Roger. 33 or 37?
Today we've had a national tragedy. 2
Alpha Charlie, Roger.
Have crashed into the World Trade Center in an apparent terrorist attack on our country.
Yeah, I'll keep you advised on that in a second. Amtrak 797,
President. To the governor.
797, go ahead. Amtrak 797, contact the Cleveland Center now on 119.32.
And have ordered that the full resources of the federal government.
United 1523, did you hear your company, did you hear some interference on the frequency here
to conduct a full-scale investigation.
Yes, I did, 797, and we couldn't tell what it was either.
Find those folks.
Okay. United 93, Cleveland, if you hear the center right then.
Terrorism against our nation will not stand. And now, if you join me in a moment of silence.
An American 1060, a ditto on the other transmission.
American 1060, you heard that also?
Yes, sir, twice.
Let's get rid of this goddamn stem. Hey, turn the switches off. Get rid of that crap.
We heard that also, thanks. I just wanted to confirm there wasn't some interference.
You had just heard President Bush acknowledge that this was a apparent terrorist attack on the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center.
I guess you called him and never talked to me, but if there's anything you need or anything I can help you with, let me know where he is right now, please.
Okay,
Cleveland 9.
you want to let you know what we have going on, sir?
Yes, that's a pretty good idea, but yes.
Information about
I was just answering your call. We did hear that yelling too.
Okay, thanks. We know nothing other than the fact that there has been this again, you are a licensed pilot. You were describing to us that you saw that was flying, but it came screaming by your office window and went right into the tower.
Exactly. Is that being a pilot, the first thing I
proposed route, he was headed towards JFK at the time that they lost contact.
Cleveland Center, good morning, Delta 1989, West 350. Delta 1989, right?
So that I tried to create
Is that
was that United 93?
that you could avoid
Was headed toward where?
Washington.
Okay.
So your AOR, and I just wanted to give you a heads up.
Okay, go ahead.
The last known lat long that we had, primary target only was 4038 north.
Could you, again, did you see the second aircraft? Apparently might have come in from the other direction.
No, I couldn't see it.
Okay.
But again, remember, nothing has been confirmed as far as which aircraft that hit the World Trade Center, but the other one we have is information headed towards Washington.
Okay, let me tell you this. We're also long-term.
We're still trying to figure out. There's some reports that these planes
Finally get a phone. We're from 25. Sam, what was that airborne Dracula? Hunter Sniper 4, reference whiskey 386. 7, write it down.
Hunter Dracula, go ahead.
Yes, sir. In regards to quit 25,
yes, sir.
I would like you to work with Center. We need them to go direct Baltimore, Washington International. I got another. And have them bring up Hunter's on the auxiliary frequency 234.6.
Well, you guys couldn't too fast moving airspace now. You want to go to Baltimore?
Yes, sir. We're not going to take him in whiskey 386.
Okay, once you go to Baltimore, what are we supposed to do?
Just have them contact us on the auxiliary frequency 234.6. We just need, instead of taking handoff to us and then us handing them back, just tell Center they've got to go to Baltimore. Thanks, Bob Tango.
Why are we doing that?
I'm going to choke that guy. Why? Remember, everything stays being recorded. I know. We'll be playing back. It's all good. Right now we got quit 25, which we're not controlling. They'll come up on our off. We've got T23 going with it. Yeah, we got just up in Shark Powell. Boston Senate team, I've got a question for you. Yes, sir. The military aircraft that are in the air right now. Yes, sir. We're wondering if we should tell them to return to base if they're just not training missions or what you guys. No, they're actually on the active air for the DO out there. Launched early. Everybody's up. We want them up. Yes, we did send the ones home in 105 that were on the training mission. They are sent home. The Panthers are out there for Modus. Right, I understand that. I'm talking about, I think there's somebody training up in Falcon X area right now. No, Falcon, stand by. Let me, just in general, anybody who's training. Anybody in training, send them home. The Falcon, send them home. Right. Yeah, we're going to send, go ahead, send them home. Okay,
Okay. Is it alright if Center talks to him the whole way to Baltimore? Is he going to hold over Baltimore like...
We want Center to maintain primary control. We just want them to be able to talk to us in an auxiliary free 234.6.
Okay. Do you care what altitude they go to Baltimore at? Just get down there?
As long as they get there.
Are they just going to hold over Baltimore?
What's going to happen next?
HFID is coming out. Can I help you?
Latest report, aircraft to be flying 6 miles southeast of the White House.
6 miles southeast of the White House?
He's moving away?
Southeast of the White House?
Aircraft is moving away.
Okay, moving away from the White House.
I got aircraft to the White House.
Everybody from this vantage point is, as Mr. Wilson was saying, turn and burn and create a mire. Here we go. This is what we're going to do here.
To the White House right now. Monster fire.
Go for 06. Traffic at 11 o'clock and 5 miles northbound past moving type and altitude unknown. All right, you have the traffic. Do you know what kind it is? Can you see?
Looks like a 757.
A 757. Can you estimate its altitude?
Looks like he's at low altitude right now, sir.
Go for 86, thank you.
First stop is a little farther on down. It's a terrible question, but what are you thinking about when you're looking at something like that? I'm telling you, we ran because stuff was flying everywhere.
That traffic for Gopher 06 is still in a descent now, and looks like he's rolled out northeast now.
All right, thank you.
Still tell my wife I'm all right.
Go for 86, climb and maintain.
You got a military?
Yeah, stand by. Go for 86, turn right and follow the traffic, please.
Forget that exposure, I'll tell you that.
Go for 86, turn right, heading 080. We're going to back to you for the traffic.
Okay, 080,
Hold on. Where's Langley at? Where the fighters? They're going at okay, they're at 386 and going up north. I don't care how many windows you break. Why'd they go up there? Damn it. Okay. Push it back. I just control Zach Felicia.
Hi,
For safety. Yeah. And I don't know why. There's a whole bunch of people driving now for someone, down there, just causing, blocking the fire trucks and everything. We're trying to clear the streets.
Go for 06, guys.
Yes, sir, the aircraft is down. These are 12 o'clock
That's really a good point to New Yorkers who may be watching us, however they're watching or listening to us right now, to try to get out of that area to let the emergency...
Go for 86, thank you. Descend and maintain 2000.
Boston called and said that I'd have to get the information from you on it. They don't have a call sign for the aircraft. They don't have any codes for the aircraft. They just know that there's one that's 6 miles southwest of the White House.
Okay, well, Boston's airspace has
didn't even come close to that. I don't know how they got that information, but we don't. Hey.
This is Go for 06. It looks like that aircraft crashed into the Pentagon, sir.
Go for 86. Go for 06. Thank you.
Okay, we don't know anything about that. No, we don't. And it's probably just whoever.
You are not close enough to.
Understand you still want to go for 06 and the 2000, sir.
Go for 06. You can maintain 3,000, then turn left heading 270.
Okay, left turn to 270. Go for 06 now. Any chance we can circle around the Pentagon, sir, on our 270 turn?
Go for 06. Approved as requested.
Go for 06.
One of them appeared to be bigger than the other. The second bigger than the other.
And we all witnessed it right here on live television.
Go for 06. Okay, they're asking if you would go ahead and move away now towards the west, 270 heading, and 2,000 for now.
Roger, we're planning to 3,000.
Shut down.
Here's the captain. I would like to roll to the main stadium. We're overboard. I'm now going to back to the airport. And have our demands.
Two separate incidents.
Okay, it's United 93 calling.
World Trade Center, and you certainly see the result as far as the structural
United
damage.
93, understand, have a bomb on board, go ahead.
Richmond on secure line, how may I help you?
Terrorist attack. We expect to hear from
Yes, sir.
Giuliani in just a couple of minutes. Governor Pataki is in town. As a matter of fact, he does have an office in the World Trade Center, but President Bush says that he has talked to the governor.
Right.
So as far as we know, the governor is okay.
And Center, executive 950.
But again, to reiterate, we know nothing about what happened to the people who were on those in those floors, in those buildings. So we are simply waiting to find out about injuries and casualties if indeed that's what happened. So you were looking at a scene that one would wish you could never witness in a city like this.
And of course, this is the second major attack on the World Trade Center. There was the bombing back in 1993. And of course, that was at the bottom.
Go ahead.
And the top of the building, obviously very vulnerable, and we certainly witnessed that today.
Right, with all the security changes that they have on the bottom, so nobody can get up there without the right kind of clearance. But it's vulnerable to attack by air. We are going to once again go Kate and McGee because, as we've been telling you, the city is literally at a standstill. No one's being allowed in from any of the river crossings. And the subway lines have been shut down in that area. And the airports are all closed. Katie, what more can you tell us?
The city at this point is at a standstill. All three major area airports, LaGuardia, Kennedy, and Newark, are closed at this point to all
Delta 1989, fighting 285.
all bridges and tunnels. 285, no one is letting any traffic head into town. At this
United
point,
93,
outbound,
you're here, Cleveland
we're going
Center.
to find some people. We just saw some folks that had been sitting in one of the tubes coming out of the Lincoln Tunnel. They were allowed out, but now everybody being turned away. We also saw a backup down near Canal Street waiting to get into the outbound Holland. Those people also being turned away. At this point, again, no one being allowed to head into the city. For all intents and purpose, all train service suspended is what we're hearing at this point. Police are saying, please leave the city if you can. Of course, this is rough because of the way traffic is right now. You really, really want to steer clear of anywhere south of Midtown. And again, everyone right now being turned away. We saw traffic trying to get into the Lincoln Tunnel, actually turning around and backing up.
956, we had a visual on him, just stand by.
Bringing
Do you have a visual on him now?
to New Jersey.
We did, but we lost him in the turn. We'll just make a quick... Well, I had a 37 aircraft right behind you on a vector also.
Manhattan, probably head up the FDR and the West Side Highway.
At this point, you're going to want to
Do you have a visual on him now? Sector 956, if you can make a turn back to 220 heading, let me know if you can see him.
Westbound cross
Yeah, he's still there. We got him for 956. He's still there. Northwest of you about 25 miles.
Absolute crawl right now.
Stay permanent for 956.
Get onto the bridge and from what it looks like, come in over it and back into New Jersey.
United 93, we spoke about him before. Yes. He is reversing course over Akron. They just lost his transponder. He's heading eastbound.
You may still have a meeting at this point. Again, you're being advised
just a second.
Please stay where you are.
757.
Jersey, your best bet probably would be go through Westchester County, cross the Tappan Zee Bridge, and come back
The
down.
aircraft is descending.
You may want to try that out. Let me take a look right now and see how my Tappan Zee Bridge camera looks. Just bear with me for 1 second, and I'll tell you. Actually, it looks like right now traffic heading into Westchester.
Okay, so you don't know who's the one. What's the third? Okay, what's the third one? The third aircraft. You guys don't know who?
If you were to leave home in Westchester right now, I can't tell you you'd definitely be able to get into town in another half an hour, 40 minutes or so.
Therefore, I don't know if...
Well...
Have and that's the one by
I don't know if he's
Sounds to
hijacked or
me
not. I
like
really don't know.
Jane, we're just getting a report that there's been an attack on the
do you remember
Pentagon.
when we were talking about
This is the Pentagon.
aircraft
This is from the
do
network.
you guys have any
This is
idea
the
who that
Pentagon in
aircraft was
Arlington,
by,
Virginia.
By the White House?
yeah.
We thought for some reason to believe
These are
it was
pictures that
American
have just
11.
come
I don't know
in
if we heard
to
that
us
from somebody
here
else, if they had
at
a
News
visual
Channel
on them,
4.
it was
We were
American
looking
Airlines or what.
at live
We just
pictures
don't
of
know.
what appears to be an attack on the Pentagon.
Which
We can tell you
aircraft that
nothing
was.
more than
We have
what
three call signs. We don't
you
know
were
what the third
looking
call
at.
sign is yet. So we have two aircraft in the
This is
towers,
approximately
one in
an
the Pentagon,
hour
and we don't know
ago
what that third call
that
sign was.
we had
You don't know what
one
third call sign
airplane
was?
crash into the northern of the World Trade Center towers, and about 18 minutes later, another airplane crashed into the southern
Yes, sir, we still are.
of the towers, and now we have this.
We
Right
also
now,
hear that the
no.
first plane
We
hit the
got
World Trade
20
Center was
feet
apparently
of
hijacked
speed, 1989,
from Boston.
Company wants us
There's
to
a
ground at
very
Cleveland.
possibility that the plane would
Yeah, it
hit
looks like
something.
The company wants us to divert to land at Cleveland.
Double
1989, Roger, fire present heading. Descend and maintain potable 330, expect further vectoring.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. Where would he be right now if he was going to land in Cleveland? Would he be descended? He would be descended and speed would be
business
slowing.
type of jet.
Well,
So
looks like
perhaps
he's
it was
not
some
gonna
sort of
go
a
there.
commuting airline or something like that.
Nope. Okay. Yep.
Let us go back and listen to what President Bush had to say a few moments ago. This was
One
before
six Mike Fox back
this
there, no
latest
answer,
explosion at
1932.
Today we've had a national tragedy.
Try again, Mike Fox. He was busy there. 119.32.
Into the World Trade Center.
We believe that aircraft is about
in
100
an
miles
apparent
southeast, 50 miles
terrorist attack
southeast.
on our country. I have spoken to the Vice
Center
President,
561 Alpha Charlie. We
to
just
the
want to go ahead
Governor
and
of New
leave
York,
Toledo.
to the Director of the FBI, and have ordered that the full resources of the federal government go to help the victims and their families.
At Cleveland Center
And
morning, we
to
can
conduct a
881
full-scale
about 350.
investigation to hunt down
Scan 881, Roger. Contact
and to
Cleveland
find those folks
119.32.
who are behind this
119.32.
act.
19
Terrorism against our nation will not stand. And now, if you join me in a moment of silence. May God bless the victims, their families, and America. Thank you.
This was President Bush about 20 minutes ago. But now let us tell you that since that
United
statement,
93,
there
Cleveland, do you
has
still hear
been
the center?
an explosion at the Pentagon, and we have on the wire now a story that
United
says
93, do you still hear
an
Cleveland?
Associated Press reporter saw the tail end of a large airliner plunge into the building. And
This is a live picture of the White House. We understand the West Wing has been evacuated. Again, the president is
Cleveland,
now
Air
at the White House
Canada
in
560. We just got a message. Operations would like us to turn around and go back to Toronto.
at a school
Air Canada
where he was
560.
told what happened. That's where he held his
Understand
press conference. But again, two
stand by
planes
a
have hit the
second.
World Trade
I
Center,
turn
and now witnesses
away
say
from this
just
guy
a few
and back
moments
to
ago
Dunkirk.
in Arlington,
Air
Virginia,
Canada
another plane
560
has
fly heading
plunged into the Pentagon.
290, expect direct
And
Dunkirk.
again, we have no
direct
information
link.
about exactly what happened down there, other than the fact that some
United
sort of
93,
aircraft,
United 903, do you hear Cleveland?
has crashed near or
Okay,
into the
United
Pentagon.
93.
So, obviously,
It's 29 miles out
it
of,
is a day
29 minutes out of
that we are
Washington,
witnessing
D.C.
something we have never seen before.
29 minutes
and,
out of Washington,
we
D.C.
don't
and
know,
tracking towards that. This is the one who
we
reversed
don't
course
know
in
anything
Ohio.
more about who's responsible for it than we have since the very beginning, which was about an hour ago.
That's all I have.
Which was when the first aircraft.
As the president said, apparently a terrorist attack.
Exactly. And he has ordered full-scale investigations and has vowed to use every effort he can and that this country can to find out who is responsible
Yeah, you
and
turn
to
that
bring
medics
them
away
to
from that
justice.
primary up there.
We have had numerous eyewitnesses who have talked about the airplanes that they saw literally
Put your primaries
slash
up, Bill, 'cause
into
I'm pretty
those
sure
two
that's him.
buildings about
I got
18 minutes
it
ago
on the
within
track.
the hour.
Okay.
And obviously it was something that they witnessed with shock and with horror. And we have nothing to tell you at this point about the number of injuries or the fatalities. We understand Mayor Giuliani is about to hold a press conference,
Yes.
and perhaps he will be able to give us some more information about all of that.
This just crossed about the Pentagon. An Associated Press
Number
reporter said he
561
saw
Alpha
the
Charlie,
tail end of
contact
a
Cleveland
large
119.32,
airliner
sir.
plunge into the building. He says smoke is billowing out of the
United
Pentagon. So
93,
obviously
United
now
93, Cleveland.
We're looking at the hijacking, probably, of 3 commercial airliners here in the United States. We know the first one
Came from
that plunged
Boston.
into the World Trade Center came from the airport in Boston. And through a transmission, they learned that that plane was hijacked.
We should also warn those of you who are watching us that if you have plans to come into New York City today, you must cancel them.
Allegheny. I believe that to be the primary that's associated with the United 93.
The stock exchange has been closed. The airports are closed. The bridges, the tunnels, closed inbound and pretty much outbound at this point. The subways, all train service has been stopped. So we, of course, recommend that you stay put wherever you are and stay tuned to find out exactly what is happening.
Well, we just learned that after what has happened at the Pentagon, that the West Wing of the White House has been evacuated, as well as the U.S. Capitol now. So I'm sure all government buildings are being shut down in the nation's capital and pretty much around the country. And I'm sure that we are now we're on terrorist alert, probably nationwide, I would think.
And there's another report that's just come over that says the White House was threatened with a terrorist attack, a source says.
He's heading towards the Washington area. He was at level 3,
United 93, United 93, here's the center.
And is tracking toward the Washington area at this time.
Orange
they're pulling Jeff away. We'll talk about United 93.
Said that it might have been a helicopter.
Do we want to think about scrambling aircraft?
An AP reporter who says it appears to him to have been a large airliner of some sort. And
that's a decision somebody's going to have to make probably in the next 10 minutes.
FBI is investigating reports that it could have been hijacked
everybody just
crashed.
As a matter of fact, the FAA has just now halted all air traffic throughout the United States. So as of right now, there are no commercial airliners in the air.
I doubt that has ever happened before in this country.
I don't think so.
So again, we do have a bulletin that I see here that says a Palestinian DFLP official denies any kind of responsibility for the World Trade Center crash. You know, again, everybody is trying to find out exactly what it is that has happened here. We simply do not know who is responsible. If we might, could we see the video again that showed us the second airliner crashing into the southern of the buildings?
Pentagon just got hit.
As you will see in a couple of moments here, a plane will come into the picture from the upper right-hand corner of your screen, if you're watching at home. Coming down here in just a few seconds as our camera backs up from Chopper 4. There you see the plane coming into the picture. It will dip down below the first building.
Okay.
We don't see it for a couple of seconds, and then it comes back out.
Just do the best you can.
Slams
okay, what's the word on Toledo?
Trade Center.
Again, this has all happened within the past hour and 5 minutes or so.
God damn, I can't even protect my NCA.
We are witnessing things that we've never seen anything like it before. Obviously, there was a terrorist attack back in 1993, about 8 years ago. On the Twin Towers, at that point, 6 people were killed.
Find out what's going on with my Toledo guys.
Major security measures were put into effect after that, making sure that people did not get into that building unless they had the proper clearance.
I'll pay for it.
But obviously, the buildings today were vulnerable to air. We do not know anything about the people who were working inside those buildings. Obviously, it's a full work day in New York City, Tuesday in September. And it's also primary day. So
fucking
people were going to work as usual. Now, it happened a few minutes before 9 in one of the buildings. One would assume that maybe some of those offices weren't quite open yet.
I would think so. A lot of people had not arrived at work, and we certainly hope that is the case. As you said, the first explosion, first plane slamming into the first building, a plane that was hijacked from Boston, happened about, it was about 8:50, somewhere between 8:50 and 9 o'clock this morning. And it was 18 minutes later, we saw right here on our live picture from Chopper 4, the second plane, which witnesses had described as a full commercial airliner, slamming into the second tower. And you saw the dramatic explosion. And of course, just a couple of minutes ago, witnesses say that another commercial airliner has slammed into the Pentagon down in Arlington, Virginia. The U.S. Capitol and the White House have both been evacuated, and we understand that the White House had received a threat of a terrorist attack.
Now we're looking back at the Pentagon. Again, you can see the smoke billowing from there. We have no other information at this point about casualties or injuries or exactly what it was that smashed into the Pentagon earlier today. 25 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago, something of that sort.
One of the other pictures we saw, we actually saw a member of the military in full fatigue
outside the White House.
Outside the White House, you know, fully loaded and ready to go for anything.
We expect that Mayor Giuliani is going to be speaking shortly. As you can imagine, I'm sure there is a scene of much confusion now at downtown in Lower Manhattan, outside the World Trade Center towers. We have just been told that the Pentagon is being evacuated at this point. And we're looking back at the World Trade Center towers here. The smoke continues to billow. The fire is clearly not under control yet.
Jane, we have another witness on the telephone of the second plane slamming into the second tower. His name is Robert Thomas from Brooklyn Heights. Can you hear me, Robert?
Yes, I can.
Can you tell us exactly what you saw?
I was on the roof deck of my building watching the fire from the first explosion, and I was on the phone with my parents in Florida, and I watched the second plane coming in from Staten Island-ish area, and I was telling my mom on the phone, that plane is too low. I can't believe it's that close to the building after the first one hit. And it was a gray on the top plane. It was about the size of one of the shuttles, maybe coming from D.C. area. It was not a small plane. It was like a 737 or something. And whatever airline is gray on the top. And I saw it hit the building. I have a very good friend who works at Windows in the World, the pastry chef Heather Ho, and I hope to God she's okay today.
Have you attempted to reach her?
I tried to call her at home. The work number is busy, of course. And I tried to call her at home and got her message.
Okay. Again, we've been talking about how the FBI is reporting, or is investigating reports that at least one aircraft, if not two, were hijacked earlier today. So from your vantage point, what you could see appeared to be the size of perhaps a shuttle aircraft.
Right, it was not a small plane, it was a big plane.
Okay.
Definitely, good group of people.
Did you see anybody through the windows of the cockpit of that aircraft? Too far away.
It wasn't that close, but I could see it coming in. It was in a long, swooping motion. It wasn't a jerky flight. It was straight to it. And it was way, I mean, it was so low, it was unbelievable to watch.
Lady was serious in his office. We're not ready to die, but he's getting bad. I understand that. We can give us this information because, of course, we are trying to find out exactly what happened
on this Tuesday morning.
Jane, we're learning the State Department has also been evacuated. The Associated Press has learned that the White House was evacuated after the Secret Service did receive a credible threat of a terrorist act against the White House.
Does it say what time that threat came in?
No, it does not. So we don't know if it was before the planes crashed into the World Trade Center or after.
We're seeing now that there's information that the aircraft at the Pentagon actually had a landing pad near the White House.
All right,
Exactly. One of the planes, we're also being told that one of the planes that crashed into the World Trade Center had been hijacked after takeoff from Boston, as you just said.
I understand that, sir. We're on the way.
Citing a transmission from the airplane. Let's go and review for you exactly what has happened as a result of all of this. All airplane traffic across this whole country has been grounded. There are no airplanes leaving or landing. Obviously, they can land those shortly, but there are no aircraft that are going to be leaving any airports around the country for at least the time being. We do not know how long. It is virtually impossible to get up into this city right now. The bridges, the subways, the tunnels, everything is shut down. There are major traffic jams from people who were trying to leave or trying to get in. Obviously, it is a good day to stay put wherever you are. Obviously, the airports here are all closed. The stock exchange has been closed.
Down. Subways, the 1, 2, 3, 9, all train service in and out of the city is now shut down. And, you know, not that in the big picture, this is really not that important at this moment, but you have to wonder if maybe the primary election will be possibly suspended because of this.
Well, people can't get their polling places.
You're absolutely right.
And I'm sure that's something that they will sort out later, because I'm sure not a single one of these candidates is worrying about that at this point. We heard the president call this a terrorist attack. That was before the explosion at the Pentagon. So the president is being fully briefed. He said he had talked to the governor. Now, the governor has an office in the World Trade Center. He was in Manhattan. But we do not know where he is. President Bush has said he has talked to him, so we assume that he is safe at this point. We are waiting for the mayor to give us some information about casualties or injuries this morning.
Okay, we have another reporter out on the street. Walter Perez. Can you hear us, Walter?
I'm high school. I must have called about a dozen times already.
Here we are about 2 blocks away.
T-O-S-T-R-O-V-E. My wife thinks I'm all right. I called and said I was leaving the building outside and bang.
In nearby buildings. This mass access system. My wife inside. We have 2 witnesses. As we speak with you, see the man up.
Coming out of the building, and there were maybe about 30 or 40 people at the bottom of one financial.
John Astor's office.
One right there. A gentleman that was on the telephone.
Right, that's the office you're at. That's the office you're at.
Building and I think I scared my entire
Hello? We're looking at financial center. Continue that, keep breaking windows.
There's maybe about 30 or 40 people bandages and blood. It looks like a lot of them were in one of the exchanges. Oh my God! Oh my God!
We're not sure exactly what happened, but it was another explosion.
Please, urgent.
From where we're standing,
one of the buildings is partially collapsed, and the whole side is very okay.
The building has gone up on the right-hand side of the road. People are now running down the street. We're not sure if that was another explosion or...
I made the collapse in one of the towers.
Jim, you're also a witness of what happened. Tell me exactly what you saw from your vantage point across the street.
The South Tower, major collapse.
Second plane hit the Tower 2. Looked like a 737. It hit a glancing blow. It didn't direct. I don't know where the rest of the plane went. But it went in, came out lower than the first plane.
United 93 was waving his wings as he went past the VFR aircraft. They don't quite know what that means. Rocket is wrangling.
Marine 6 to Manhattan, urgent. Tower 2 has had a major explosion and what appears to be a complete collapse surrounding the entire area.
I waited to call the watch and just had them bring up requested them bring up 2 birds from cargo loaded.
People that were running down the street or walking are now running away. We don't have any information as far as what the most recent
the one at the top is the 2 birds they did a quick turn. You got no weapons. They just turned around and straight around up to the range. They blew all the roads.
2 more explosions again.
I know, but we got 2 though. We're loitering, and we're going to send them down to investigation. Keep the stoppers are airborne already. I got 2 more from Toledo. Just special effects over the what do you call it? Over the lake right now. So, what are we going to do with it if it isn't? What are we going to do? I got to give my guys direction.
If this was a third explosion or if it might have been
I don't know if they got
something from the debris raining down from one of the World Trade Center towers. It appears to be to the south of those buildings, but
Command post, Tower 1, all units, evacuate the building. Command post to all units.
Commercial airliner, maybe a small commercial airliner.
I got him. I need 1 more maybe. No, wait, I got anything here. I'm upset.
And slammed into one of the towers. About 18 minutes later, a second commercial airliner, which the witnesses tell us was much bigger, slammed into the second tower. Soon after that, we heard from President Bush that said this was an apparent terrorist attack. Not long after he talked,
I will call you directly.
Very close to the Pentagon. We're going to stand down in the nation's capital. The White House, the U.S. Capitol, and the State Department have all been evacuated.
Can anybody hear me?
The Secret Service did receive a very real threat.
I'm a civilian. I'm trapped inside of one of your fire trucks. Underneath. The collapse that just happened. Stand by. There's people close to you. I can't breathe much longer. Save me. I'm in the captain's truck.
Been up in the newsroom. Do you have anything you can add to all of this?
Well, just, you know, in getting here to Rockefeller Center this morning to share with you, because you've been here in the studio, just the scenes on the street, people on their cell phones trying to find out what's going on, people calling loved ones trying to find out if they're okay. As you walk into this building, a lot of people out on the street not being permitted to go up and down through most of the elevators for security reasons. Obviously, as we think about the landmarks in Manhattan, people are taking very serious security precautions just for that reason. A lot of emotions I should share with you up in the newsroom too, as we hear these just gut-wrenching eyewitness accounts of what these people must be going through, especially in the Twin Towers right now. Just amazing.
We have just been told that this, what we thought was another explosion, was indeed, according to the Associated Press, another building that has either been attacked or exploded. So it appears to be separate from the two that we have already witnessed this morning. And if you take a look at this scene right now, the smoke that is billowing over Manhattan is truly a frightening sight to see. Again, the part that I think concerns all of us is that we have no knowledge of what happened to the people who might have been inside any of those buildings. It's a normal workday, and although the first explosion came earlier,
Hi, Hunter ID calling. I wanted to give you a heads up on the Delta Airlines 1989er that was in Cleveland Center, the OR. He was giving you the information that he was a hijacked aircraft. He is not a hijacked aircraft. He's taken precautionary measures and he's landing at Cleveland Center. However, we do have 4 fighters launched on that aircraft, just to be sure.
As I was coming towards Midtown, you look up, and there's the smoke coming out of the World Trade Center. How did you come to work today? I actually walked most of the way because traffic is, as you would imagine, a complete mess. Emergency vehicles trying to make their way all down to downtown to lower Manhattan. So it's difficult for anybody who's trying to get around. Bridges and tunnels, as you've been mentioning, are closed. So getting on and off the island isn't going to happen right now. Okay, Jim, right now we have a terrorism expert on the telephone, Harvey Kushner. Harvey, can you hear me?
I can hear you very well.
Harvey, this obviously has all the earmarks of terrorism.
Yes, unfortunately it does, and you know, I've been in this business almost 40 years, and quite frankly, I couldn't have written a scenario like this. If I would have come forward with something like a possibility like this, they would have laughed. I mean, this has all of the worst case scenarios put together into one. This is monumental. This will be something that, you got Gary Condit in the news, you have OJ. This is something that we're going to be looking at for the next couple of years, unfortunately, and not just from a media perspective, but from the people who've witnessed this. I mean, when you think of the psychological trauma this is going to cause to New Yorkers and to Americans, it's monumental. It's off the map.
As you see the scope of this and the methodical way in which it appears to have been planned and happened, and again, we don't know what truly occurred, but there's talk of aircraft being hijacked, right, of second explosions, of et cetera, et cetera. What, if there are signals you can read in that as an expert on all of this, what can you tell us about that?
Well, it shows that, in the last couple of years, and I just got off of the embassy bombing trial, I was involved in that, and I've seen a picture painted of Osama bin Laden, not to say that he's involved in this necessarily, but of his network and his ability to try to do damage to the United States. And over the last couple of years, a lot of terrorism experts worldwide have been talking about the day of the freelancer, for those not familiar with the term, individuals who do things by themselves. Obviously, this type of event which occurred today is something that costs a lot of money, a lot of planning, such as what happened in the embassy bombing trial, to blow up 2 embassies. And obviously they had the will and the desire, many people, to be able to pull something like this off. I mean, think about hijacking a plane, the difficulties involved in that, but yet to have it flown into a building is just monumental in terms of timing, in terms of the ability of the number of people on that plane. I mean, if I had to surmise, I would think it wasn't just one individual. It had to be groups of individuals to be able to control something like that, to pull something like this off. And if the reports are true that we're having a coordinated attack at other American targets, such as the Pentagon or the White House or other buildings. This indicates that we're facing a new era.
I believe I was the one talking about that Delta 1989.
Go ahead.
Okay, well, disregard that. Did you...
Intelligence and...
What we found out is that he was not a confirmed hijack.
Okay, now, I don't want you to worry about that right now. We got a United 93 out here. Are you aware of that? That has a...
We would talk about an event
that has a bomb on board.
A biological attack or some other type of thing occurring. But this type of scenario...
No, we lost the transponder. What we want to know is, did you scramble airplanes for that Delta 1989?
We did, out of Southbridge and Toledo, sir.
Did you? Are they in the air?
Yes, they are.
Is there any way we can get them to where this United is?
I mean, this is just...
Okay, there is now on that United 93, yes. There is a report of black smoke in the last position I gave you.
And this one
15 miles south of Johnstown.
In terms of from the airplane or from the ground?
They're speculating it's from the aircraft.
What the aftermath is going to be?
Who it hit the ground. That's what they're speculating. It's speculation only.
We try to calm people down by telling them
Give me a call, sign, give me the whole 9 yards.
Involved in a terrorist act is very, very small. What do we tell people now when they walk around New York City?
United 93, real quick. Got a bomb.
Going from where to where? Other buildings exploding. We see people crying in the streets. I mean, this is a horrific event, and it's a very, very sad day in American history.
Bomb on board. United
Kushner,
93.
I don't know if you're watching television, but we are now showing our very first pictures of some of the victims of this today, and we can see some horrific, what appears to be burns.
Yes.
Some serious injuries. Again, this is video that we have just
intercepted to put that aircraft away from there.
I'm watching it. I can see it.
Well, okay, get there.
We've also been told that the
aircraft
second
over the White House.
tower hit by the second plane, which is One World Trade Center, we intercepted that tower, has actually collapsed at this point.
Well, I'm looking at this picture right now, and you cannot
aircraft
see the top of the second tower.
The White House.
So a few moments ago, if you remember, there were just billowing smoke there.
How close are you to intercept?
You know, if I might just interject this, I was involved in a civil litigation against the Port Authority of New Jersey because I was representing with a team of attorneys
going in right now.
Two clients who were in the B2 level. And the trade towers was warned many years in advance that there's a possibility of having a bomb placed in the bottom of the building. And my report showed that the construction of that building was in such beyond the code that even such a powerful bomb couldn't do the damage. But now looking at these pictures as we speak, I'm choked up thinking that this type of risk assessment was there and we didn't have. But how do you guard against something like this? This means that you have to put a perimeter around New York in terms of flight pattern, in terms of having jets ready to shoot down planes that they're going into buildings. I mean, this opens up a new level. This is ratcheted up a new level in the annals of
1527 mode 3. We got a track number? 1527 mode 3. We got a track number?
Civilization worldwide.
Okay, we got a mode 3 on this United 93.
What was going on in the Middle East and not understanding
how close are you
of the fear that people were going through on both sides. And now this to be visited here in the United States, the capital of the world, the crossroads of the world.
3951 north.
American capitalism and American might just
07846 west.
Brings a tear to an eye. I mean, think of humanity as lost in this type of thing, but think in terms of what it's going to do to us as a country. I mean, what type of procedures will we have to put into place? What protocols will we have to put into place at our airports, at our borders to protect against this? There'll be a human outcry
Toledo was
about security that has never existed before in this country. This is just monumental. This is something that happens and in history.
Hey, Ian. Weapon K, two Syracuse birds will be airborne less than 20 minutes
near Pittsburgh. Mode 3, 1527.
Any weapons?
In terms of not looking at
security,
not looking at the
we'll press with that.
We have anybody committed on the one? Our ability to protect ourselves.
We're getting to it. We don't know where it is. We're getting traction.
Every other story is gone.
Yeah.
This is something that is going to be with us.
Okay.
in the decades to come. This
Dr. Kushner, if I might interrupt you, thank you very much.
United
Please, will you stand by?
Negative
clearance
to shoot.
But we need for those,
Jamie,
please stay on the line. The
1527,
people that are just tuning in, we need to just reiterate and give them a bit more information here, because there have been a couple of recent developments that we need to tell
Fuck
people
the code
about.
word. That's perishable information.
One of the most startling is the fact that we now
Negative
only
clearance
see
to
one
fire.
tower of the World Trade Center Twin Towers
ID type
standing.
fail.
We've gotten word that one World Trade Center has either partially or fully collapsed. It looks like a partial collapse.
Yeah.
We can still see below the smoke.
tape.
This is actually tape.
This is
actually
tape.
tape.
And this is you are now witnessing it.
I'm doing well, as good as can be expected. I've got guys that will be
Obviously,
launching in
that
about 15
structure
minutes.
weakened by the aircraft that we saw fly
are they
into
loaded?
We've got hot guns, that's all I
an
know.
hour
Well,
ago.
that's good enough for me. For
The
time
second,
being.
that was the second time.
It was the second one, but it was hit much
Only words I
lower.
got,
It was
I got
a
another
good
possible
30 stories down, something
aircraft
like that.
with
It
a
was
bomb
about
on
double
board.
the ways
in,
down from the
Pennsylvania,
from the first of the
Approximate
world
area?
towers.
Yeah, that's
Of course, the
south.
lower it is,
Yeah,
obviously,
south
the
of
more
us.
vulnerable it is to have
And there's
collapse.
also the
Now,
possibility
I don't know if you've seen
of-
this, Jim.
where's
This
that
is, all right,
Where's
we
the
were
other
looking
guy,
once
the special?
again earlier.
He
This
turned
is
back over to Lake?
Where I
No, the other Lake.
tuned in to
Lake Erie.
to News Channel 4.
If you look
Right
up on your
there.
right-hand side, you will see an
Over-
aircraft
okay,
coming
another-
into the picture.
Another one at possibly
there at any
that
moment.
Cleveland area.
Right there.
There it is.
Okay.
Now watch this.
It'll actually dip behind
Door
the first
vectors on
building.
Uh, not yet. Looks
there
like
it is.
the one over Cleveland turned
So it
around,
goes
looks like
around
heading
behind
back
that
to the
building
east.
and comes in
The
from
guy
the
down
left
at
side.
York,
It
Pennsylvania.
It crossed over
He's
the
heading
Hudson,
north,
and we have
northwest.
had eyewitnesses who have
Okay, we might be
watched
able to get
that
those two.
aircraft. They
Yeah,
told us
and
it appeared
the
to
call
be a
sign,
good size.
for the
They
guy
compared
in
it to the
York
size of a shuttle,
is,
you know, like the Boston or Washington
United
shuttle. And indeed, an
93.
aircraft was hijacked in Boston
Most
earlier this
three
morning,
of
and the FBI knew
1527.
that because of
Okay,
some
doesn't
radio
help us.
transmissions
Okay,
that
I
came
got
to them.
it.
So, if you think about this
Okay, and I got
theoretically,
this other
that
guy
may
out
have been the
west.
aircraft
He's
that then went into that
American
And this
tower.
isn't only New
Where's
York.
that guy?
No,
Excuse
this
me.
was just the first. The
Okay, I got one who
not
just
long
faded
after
over
that,
Cleveland.
another
Delta
commercial airliner
89er,
crashed
Mode
into the
3.
Pentagon or right
Yeah,
next
I
to
don't
the
know if I can
Pentagon.
help you, but
That
if you're
building's been
talking to FAA,
evacuated,
they
of
might be
course,
able
the
to help you.
nation's capital, the U.S.
1304.
capital, the State Department, and the White House have all been evacuated. The Secret Service says that they received a
I
very
also
real
want to give you
threat
a heads up,
on the White House
Washington.
today, and now we understand that the federal
United
buildings in
93,
Newark have
have
been
you got
evacuated.
information
I would
on that
imagine
yet?
that
He's
is
down.
taking place pretty much around
He's
the country.
down?
All
Yes.
planes have also
When did
been
he land?
grounded
Because
nationwide.
he
did not land.
Planes are still, a
he's
lot of planes are
down?
still being
Yeah,
diverted
somewhere up northeast of
into
Camp
Westchester
David.
Airport right now and into
Northeast of
Syracuse
Camp
to make up
David.
for
That's the last
keep the planes out of New
report.
York.
They don't know exactly
Well,
where.
once those people who were headed for New York land in one of those airports, they are not going to get into
No.
this city anytime for the next few hours. That is certain, because virtually all traffic coming into the city has been shut off.
down?
The
Crash
bridges,
or-
the tunnels are all closed to incoming traffic
93.
and to a
That
lot
was
of
the guy
outbound
that-
traffic. I don't know if anybody is getting out of the city at this point.
Did get a report that New Jersey transit trains are still running into the river. So
Okay, this is
Okay. And again, if you can get out of town,
What
that
time?
probably would be the wisest advice at this point. Most of Lower Manhattan has been evacuated at this point. And again, the subways are shut down.
look at that, the Lincoln Tunnel at 10:15 in the morning.
okay. I need
over
this
in,
point. Hey, Sam.
never looks
I
like
need
that
a
this time.
spot
It's
at
completely
93.
empty. So again, let us bring you up to date on the fact that we know nothing about the number of casualties, the number of people who've been injured. We've seen photographs of some of the injuries, recent photographs. What we could see appear to be a lot of burns, a lot of lacerations, that sort of thing. We're waiting for the mayor to hold a press conference so he can bring us up to date on the extent of the human damage, so to speak, in all of this.
During this, the period that followed the initial impact on World Trade Center, the FBI did get
Not from
word,
Boston Center, that info?
as I understand
those
it,
guys
in some
don't
sort of
do-
coded
yeah.
message, perhaps,
Yeah.
that there had been a hijacking. At least those are the reports.
Okay.
From the plane involved, one of the two planes involved, we presume,
What?
that then
Cool.
made its way directly into the World Trade Center tower.
And of course, we heard President Bush a short time ago call this a terrorist attack. That was before the attack on the
Yeah,
Pentagon.
got that.
Called this a terrorist attack and promised a full-scale investigation to find out who is responsible and to bring them to justice.
Jane, right now we have our Government Affairs reporter Melissa Russo on the telephone. Melissa, are you there?
I'm standing outside St. Vincent's Hospital right now, where the scene is absolutely unbelievable. When I arrived here, it was just as the second building explosion happened, and there is what I could describe as chaos in the streets here. There are hundreds of people just in shock, police officers telling people
now,
to
your
go
question,
home.
we have quick 2526 in the NCA
But
area.
at the hospital, there has not been much activity in terms of
Quebec
ambulances
uniform,
arriving
India,
here,
Tango.
though you might expect there would be. After
Forward
that
towel, quick.
explosion,
Forward towel, quick.
some
2526. Come on.
ambulances took off
We're falling
and
behind in
headed
the forward towel
down
stuff.
7th Avenue, which is otherwise closed to traffic. But St. Vincent
Quick.
is obviously
You're over the
preparing,
NCA area. Pick it up.
for the possibility of many, many people arriving at their emergency room. They have what looks like a trauma center set up on the street, on the sidewalk of 7th Avenue.
Okay,
Dozens of stretchers, hospital personnel, nurses, with hospital equipment.
I got 3 of there. I got 25, 26, and 27. I got 3 birds there.
Awaiting the inevitable. People in need of medical
We just
care.
No, they're at the NCA.
So, Melissa,
I got them flying over the
what you're
NCA,
telling
protecting
us
the
is
NCA
that
as best I
you have
can.
not seen the number of people that you might expect to be there after an explosion of this magnitude.
That's right. I've only been here for about, I would say, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, but we've seen a couple of ambulances come in. As I said, after that last explosion, I saw some more ambulances race out of here and head down 7th Avenue. But they're obviously preparing for people to be brought here on full alert. They have, as I said, dozens of nurses, nurses' aides out on the street outside the ER on 7th Avenue and 12th Street, stretchers lined up on the street. They're just waiting for people to become coming in, obviously, in need of treatment.
And we're looking right now, Melissa, at some tape that we saw earlier of a woman being taken for medical treatment. It did appear that she had some burns. This is some very...
And we are told that there have been some patients brought here. They probably arrived before I got here. We don't have numbers. We're waiting for a briefing from the hospital. The public relations person from St. Vincent's Hospital did come downstairs and alert the members of the press who are here that as soon as they have an update, they'll bring it to us. But obviously, they're overwhelmed with preparing for, an all-hands situation here at the hospital.
Melissa, isn't it true that the Emergency Management Office of the City of New York is located in the World Trade Center?
It's located at 7 World Trade Center, not in one of those 2 buildings. But of course, it crossed my mind as it crossed yours that this is the place that was set up. The nickname for it was the bunker. It was supposed to be a place that would be shielded from any kind of emergency situation, where the mayor and top emergency workers would be able to get together in case of this type of emergency. I have not spoken to the mayor's office yet this morning. I don't know where they are working. But it is in 7 World Trade Center, which is on the north side of VC Street, on the other side. However, it's very close. I mean, right across the street from those towers. I would be almost surprised if they felt safe to be there, although I don't know what it looks like on the ground at that part of the city right now.
And Melissa, we would assume that what you are seeing in the way of preparedness at St. Vincent's is being repeated at hospitals throughout Manhattan.
I would imagine it is. I mean, you can only think the worst in this kind of situation. Obviously, hope for the best, but there's certainly, I'm sort of surprised that we're not seeing more ambulances arriving here. We are one of the closer hospitals. I mean, there's New York Downtown Hospital, which is right across the street from City Hall, essentially, in Lower Manhattan. And then we have St. Vincent's, which is here on West 12th Street. You're hearing some sirens behind me. Those are some additional police vehicles heading down 7th Avenue right now.
Melissa?
Yes.
If I could interrupt you for a second. There's an urgent on the wire that something has happened at the State Department. A source says, we don't know yet, we hear it might have been a plane. So there's a possibility now that a plane may have slammed into the State Department in the nation's capital.
That, of course, was evacuated about 45 minutes ago. So hopefully the people who were inside that building have safely left.
There's also information, Jane, on the plane involved, perhaps, in this incident.
It appears it might have been an American Airlines flight that was leaving Boston heading to Los Angeles. I'm you know, we're still making.
You know, one witness described that as a gray plane on top, and that would be American Airlines.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, again, let's go outdoors now to
Joe Avalar.
Joe Avalar, because he is on the scene in Lower Manhattan.
Well, what we're standing here is we're in Soho. We're at the corner of Princeton and Worcester Street, and what we're seeing is a lot of what's happening around Manhattan right now, in Lower Manhattan. People were in that area, and they ran as far as they could, as fast as they could. I've got a group of people right here. They were all in offices right close to the World Trade Center. Is that correct, sir?
That's right. Right across the street at 130 Liberty Street.
You heard the explosion, and then what did you do?
We heard the explosion, and we didn't know if it was a earthquake or whatever. And they came on the PA system and said it was a bomb, but then we heard it was a plane. So then we went back upstairs because we thought everything was okay. And then we actually didn't see the second plane, but we saw the explosion hit the other tower, and planes just came flying towards us.
And that's when you ran?
That's when we went to the other side of the building and then waited to hear from the PA system. Then they said they were evacuating everybody. And then we just walked all the way up Broadway, and glad we did because the whole building came down.
Just got out of the area as far as possible. You've been trying to get through on a cell phone, too. That's been the other thing people are trying to do. Have you gotten out?
No, not at all. Some of us have.
Some of you have gotten, you just managed to get a call out on your cell phone. You're just trying to call friends and loved ones?
Just wanted to call my husband and let him know that I was all right.
This is terribly frightening.
Oh my God, it's so upsetting to know that there are all those people that, you know, people come in to work early down here, and it's really horrifying.
You were in work today. You're still in your work clothes. You evacuated along with all your friends here?
Yeah, I was with these guys. We were by the glass, and we saw huge pieces of flaming debris fall, and the building shook. And then, like he said before, we looped around. We went downstairs, went back up, and then we saw the second plane hit. And then shortly thereafter, we evacuated the building.
You stopped here, you turned. It's what everybody's doing all over the city. They get to a spot, they turn, and they watch. And you almost have to watch.
Yeah, it's surreal. It's like watching a movie.
It's surreal and it's horrifying at the same time. What was that?
Yeah, the top of the building, when we turned around, we just saw a big pile in the road because it had just fallen down. The whole thing is gone.
And now, of course, number 2 World Trade Center.
That's going to go down, too.
It's gone. And then what we're looking at, spin around, we can see the picture from, this is from where we're standing. We're a good 20 blocks or more from the World Trade Center as we're standing here, and you can see the flames. You see where the hole is, and you can see how the original hole is, which is in the middle of the building. And if you look at it, you can see how the hole has grown. Also, the flames below, maybe 10 floors below now, those flames have spread from the original fire. We've seen with binoculars, there have been people out here with binoculars. They've seen people in the buildings. There are still people in that tower. Another ambulance screaming through the area. You were in that area today.
Yes, I was on 299 Broadway when I felt a huge vibration. Thought it was an earthquake. Didn't know what it was. People were running across the street, barefooted. Some crying on the floor, almost like a stampede was occurring. Everybody just ran. This is where I'm at now. I don't know how many blocks I ran. I almost caught asthma by the time I stopped. Lost my cell phone. I can't even call my family right now.
And that's the big thing, of course, all the New Yorkers are trying to do. Everybody who is in that area, everybody who's in the city today is trying to get through, either in a cell phone or finding a store or something. I did the same thing, trying to call the family, trying to call a loved one, telling them that you're okay. Talk to someone who was in the building, had just gone into one of the World Trade Towers when it all happened. He said from where he was in the lobby, there was a flush of debris and a flush of fire down one of the elevator shafts. He actually was singed, and he was in the lobby. This gentleman here, where are you coming from?
I was in the Century 21 building.
So you were downtown too?
Right. Our office points right at the buildings, and we're so accustomed to seeing people of all walks of life down in the lobby and everything, and every day, and then all of a sudden this happens at 9 in the morning, and fire came out from all sides of the building. And to us, we thought bombs went off or something, but apparently planes went. But it's a sad, very sad time for America.
What we're going to do is we're going to turn back to the tower right here. We're going to send it back to you, and of course what everybody is thinking is that our prayers are with the people who are in that tower. Back to you.
Okay, thank you, Joe. Get an update on the State Department real quick.
Apparently it was a car bomb that exploded outside the State Department. That's according to senior U.S. law enforcement officers. The State Department had been evacuated previous, apparently, to this bomb. So one can only assume that the people that were in that building got out safe and sound. We certainly hope that they did. Let's go to Walter Perez. Walter is downtown in Lower Manhattan.
Okay, now as you can imagine, Ralph, now as you can imagine, it is a pretty frenzied scene out here just a few moments ago. I'd say about 20 minutes ago. We're not sure exactly what it was. We have not confirmed it, but something either exploded or fell off the side of the one building that was attacked and caused a massive plume of smoke. As we turn left, you can see there's a trucks go by that they're spitting off smoke. These were the emergency trucks and ambulances that were near the building at the time that that had happened. At that point, it wasn't so much of a frenzied scenario because people were walking away from the building. This entire region has been cordoned off, and people who are working in nearby buildings were told to leave and evacuate the area for obvious reasons, for safety concerns. When that second plume of smoke came up from the ground area, people started running. People were covered in soot. There were people with blood on their shirts, rips in their shirts, and at this point, looking up at the top of the building, at a rate of about 1 every 5 minutes, you see people that are jumping from the top of the building. It is an absolutely harrowing scene at this point. Police officials told us to evacuate the area that we were in. We moved about 2 blocks further, but the scene is very, very similar. Plumes of smoke all around the area, and people not exactly sure what's going on. All the telephone lines are jammed up as people are trying to communicate, not just police to other people, but folks who saw what happened, trying to communicate loved ones and let them know that they're safe. So it's a very hectic situation at this point. As we gather more information and we're sure we're settled where we're supposed to stop, we'll get back to you, because at this point, police are still not sure where we should be. And as you can see, a lot of police activity. They're trying to move the media to a safe area so we can do proper reporting and let everybody know exactly what's going on. For now, back to you.
Walter, have they given you any indication? I'm sorry, he can't hear me. All right. We simply do not know who has been hurt and what casualties might have occurred, which is the information that we are. I want you to take a look at what's happening right now. That is a live picture.
That's a live picture. The other tower just collapsed. Ready to collapse. Ready to collapse. Second home to collapse.
We are now looking at the collapse of the second of the World Trade Center towers. Again, this is something that we never truly would witness in our lifetime.
Marine 3 to Manhattan. Attacking to Manhattan. Urgent. 289 to Manhattan. Urgent.
The train is shut down.
The World Trade Center collapsed. Building 2 has collapsed. Okay.
The New York Stock Exchange.
Urgent. Urgent.
The entire top of the building collapsed. You can see a massive plume of smoke.
Everybody get out. We had to collapse to the second tower. Everybody's running from there. Here it comes. Get in. Hold on.
Absolute frenzied situation. The entire top of the building just collapsed. You can see the plume of smoke is coming in our direction. Let's get out of here, Ralph. We're going to leave because the smoke is coming right at us.
Obviously, this is a devastating. They're gone. Look at that street. They're gone. The World Trade Center is no more.
What we do not know at this point,
Engine 236 to Manhattan.
the extent of injuries or casualties.
Yeah, we're jammed down in the street over here. We can't even move the car. I'm leaving the chauffeur with the rig. I'm heading over that way.
When we get out, we've seen some gut-wrenching descriptions, witness accounts of people hanging out of windows, jumping, trying to get to safety.
You see the obvious.
Look at the plume.
All right, let's go to NBC News right now.
We are back at 10:30 Eastern Time on this Tuesday morning, this horrific, incredible, not to be believed Tuesday morning. You are looking at live pictures of the World Trade Center where just a few minutes ago, within the last minute actually, the second Twin Tower collapsed. Just to recap, if you're just joining us, around 8:42 Eastern Time this morning here in New York City, a plane crashed into the right Twin Tower of the World Trade Center about 2/3 of the way up the building, leaving a huge gaping hole, a huge fire, and tons of billowing smoke. About 25 minutes later, a second jet, believed to be a 727 or a 737,
some reports of a 757 even,
then crashed in the second Twin Tower. The first plane, incidentally, was en route from Boston, Massachusetts to Los Angeles.
Here's the video, I think, of the second plane striking the tower.
That's right. We're not sure the origin of that plane, is my understanding. The first plane that caused that hole on the right-hand side in the other Twin Tower was from Boston to LAX to Los Angeles. It was Flight 11, American Airlines. We have confirmed that that plane was hijacked. What happened following the hijacking is unclear. We should note that about an hour after the first collision at the Pentagon, reportedly another plane crashed into the Pentagon, which is just outside Washington, D.C. in Northern Virginia. All air traffic has been stopped.
Government buildings have been evacuated, as have other buildings across the country. The Sears Tower in Chicago was evacuated. You can imagine that other buildings in major cities and small cities around the country are probably being evacuated as well.
There's an unconfirmed report of a car bomb at the State Department. We have not been able to pin that down. There is also, Jim McLeshevsky was told that there was an unconfirmed report of another air hijacking. We share this with you not in an attempt...
You need to read this. Region Commander has declared that we can shoot down tracks that do not respond to our direction. Okay. I'll pass that to weapons. Okay. The Region Commander has declared that we can shoot down aircraft that do not respond to our direction. Copy that? Copy that. So if you're trying to divert somebody and he won't divert, he was saying no. No? Came over the chat. Fox, you got a conflict on that? You got a conflict on that direction?
Right now, no.
Okay. Okay, you read that from the Vice President, right?
Where he was there to
Vice President has cleared. Vice President has cleared us to intercept track. Interest shoot them down if they do not respond first on RTC.
Of the National Security Council as soon as he gets home. Colin Powell is also on his way back from Lima, Peru. He was scheduled to be in Bogota, Colombia.
And probably not at the White House. They'll probably take him to a safe location. There are a number of them, some in the hills of Virginia, as you know. And my guess is that Air Force One is in the unusual situation of having a fighter plane escort on its way back from Florida today. That's where we stand.
Think about the loss of life that we could have seen this morning. If you think about the fact that when full, the World Trade Centers hold about 50,000 people, no telling how many people were at work before 9 o'clock this morning and then shortly after 9 o'clock in the other tower. But if you look at this picture here, Tom and Katie, at Lower Manhattan, it appears that terrorists have succeeded this time in doing what terrorists tried to do back in 1993.
This is war. This is a declaration and an execution of an attack on the United States, two of our most conspicuous symbols of the American system of capitalism. The Pentagon, which of course is the headquarters of the most mighty military in the world, was attacked today as well. The White House has been evacuated. The State Department has been evacuated. Financial markets have been immobilized. All flights taking off after these attacks were grounded.
International flights have been sent to Canada.
It turns out it's transatlantic flights, only going to Canada now. So there has been great chaos visited upon this country, to say nothing, as you pointed out, Matt, so importantly, of the still untold loss of life. And it's going to be horrendous. We don't know yet what the exact numbers are, but we can only tell you by looking at those pictures that you can guess as well as that we can, that there are going to be a lot of people who are not going to be able to escape that.
Back in 1993, when the bomb blew up in the basement of the World Trade Center, so many survivors talked about how long it took them, with no power in the elevators, to walk down the smoke-filled stairways. And you think about how many people were still trying to escape those buildings when first one and then the second tower collapsed.
And of course, the triage unit that has been set up, area hospitals are all receiving victims. And as Matt said, 50,000 capacity when everybody is in the building. But many people at 8:42 a.m. here in New York are at their desks, working in their offices. One young man or one man was reached by phone and was asked, what is happening there? And he said, we are blanking, dying here. And there was screaming and yelling and pure chaos, understandably, going on in the background.
There's a picture of Lower Manhattan, ladies and gentlemen, the most important city in the world in so many ways. And now it has been attacked by terrorists at the World Trade Center, and the damage is beyond our ability to tell you in great detail.
Let me mention that,
I was going to say, here's what the president said. He canceled an education appearance in Florida. Here's what he said just a short time ago.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a difficult moment for America. I, unfortunately, will be going back to Washington after my remarks. Secretary of Rod Page and Lieutenant Governor will take the podium and discuss education. I do want to thank the folks here at Booker Elementary School for their hospitality. Today we've had a national tragedy. Two airplanes have crashed into the World Trade Center in an apparent terrorist attack on our country. I have spoken to the Vice President, to the Governor of New York, to the Director of the FBI, and have ordered that the full resources of the federal government go to help the victims and their families, and to conduct a full-scale investigation to hunt down and to find those folks who committed this act. Terrorism against our nation will not stand. And now, if you join me in a moment of silence.
That was George W. Bush about an hour ago speaking from Longboat Key, Florida. He is en route to Washington, D.C. We're looking at some pictures on the ground, or we were, of apparently some of the victims. He is on the ground.
Quite extraordinary. These are the emergency workers who are coming back. It was just about 10 minutes ago that we described to you the possibility of that North Tower collapsing. About 5 minutes after we went off the air, it did collapse. Once again, we have no idea at this point the loss of life. I can only tell you there were hundreds of emergency workers down there, about 5 or 6 blocks. It took probably about, I would say, no more than 50 or 60 seconds for that dust cloud, dust and smoke, to literally make it the 5 or 6 blocks up here and begin to envelop us, at which point we started to move out of the way. There were literally dozens and dozens of firemen who were trying to run past us. In fact, our cameraman even put one of the captains in his car and drove him down to a command post. The people who you see here are pretty much all emergency workers. Many of them that I have seen in the last 2 to 3 minutes, quite frankly, are coming out of here. And remember this, these are professionals. They're coming out of there looking literally stunned, in shock, many of them, struggling for breath, obviously in serious distress. Breathing problems are the biggest problem for those who manage to make it safely out of that area down below us. You can't see much more than a block south of me right now, and the World Trade Center probably stands about 10 blocks south of where I am at this moment. And as you can see now, the dust is beginning to pick up here. It really depends on which way the wind blows as to whether or not we get heavy dust or not. But at this point, I can tell you that in the first few minutes, emergency workers were trying just basically to get out of there, to survive. You could see that written in their faces. The situation was so desperate, they just wanted to get out of there. Now, many of them are beginning to regroup. A couple of them asked me where their commander might be. They're trying to get together and go back in there and try to take care of the people who obviously are in serious trouble. There's no other way to describe it. The language here, at times, if I slip into language which seems a little melodramatic, forgive me, but this is a circumstance which is very, very difficult to describe in many ways without sounding melodramatic. Certainly in more than 20 years of covering horrific events, this is something that I've never seen before. As we say, the emergency workers now beginning to try to gather themselves. Over there you can see a police emergency service unit. They're trying basically now to reestablish some kind of a safe perimeter. And many of the emergency workers basically just happy to be alive. Certainly that picture tells it all. Many of them just happy to be alive at this point, having survived what is an extraordinary event, the collapse of 2 towers. As we said earlier in our report, 110 stories each. I will tell you that what I saw fall had to be at least 40, 50 stories of that building at first. The skeleton was left at about, I would say, the 50 or 60th floor after the shell, after the structure of the building fell down. The skeleton, the steel skeleton, was literally sheaved off, and it took probably about another 30 seconds before the skeleton collapsed into the street. That was the last we saw of the World Trade Center, and that was maybe 10 minutes ago when that final skeleton, the metal skeleton, steel skeleton, collapsed into the street.
That was NBC's Pat Dawson again. He's standing about 10 blocks from where the World Trade Center towers used to stand. You're looking at the collapse of one of those towers right now. We now have an AP News alert out of Pittsburgh. Officials at Somerset County Airport are confirming the crash of a large plane just north of the airport. That's about 80 miles southeast of Pittsburgh. Again, officials at Somerset County Airport confirm the crash of a large plane north of that airport, which is located about 80 miles to the southeast of the city of Pittsburgh. We do not know whether that crash of that plane is related to what has become an obvious terrorist attack both here in New York City and in Washington, D.C. at the Pentagon.
Matt, we just got a late word that State Department security officials are denying those reports of a car bomb at the State Department. Betsy Stewart is at the C Street entrance and also says there's no sign of a car bomb. Betsy Stewart is one of our producers who's very familiar with the State Department. The building has been evacuated. Top officials are still believed to be in the Operations Center, however. Those are highly secured areas in terms of penetration physically and otherwise. Colin Powell, as Andrea reported earlier, was headed for Lima, Peru, but he's done a U-turn and he's coming back. The president is on his way back. He'll have a National Security Council meeting, we think probably at around 11:30 or perhaps around noon. That is likely to take place either at Andrews Air Force Base or in some more secure location. The White House has been evacuated, especially with this report of another plane going down, this time in the Pittsburgh area. There were planes in the air when the order went out that there would be no more takeoffs, so we don't know how much more damage these terrorists had in mind.
Let's go to Bob Hager, who is, of course, NBC's aviation expert. Bob, what kind of information are you getting from your sources?
Not a lot, Katie, from the FAA. For instance, they are not talking about any possible hijacks. And normally, they can tell when there's a hijack in progress because the pilot, the original pilot of the plane, has various buttons that he can push that set off a code and tell them that there were hijacks. But maybe as a matter of security, they're not saying anything about that. They did stop all takeoffs in the U.S. at 9:25 this morning, and then for pilots that were in the air, the question came up what to do about them, and they were given some discretion to continue on to their destination, so long as it was not the New York or Washington area, or divert to an airport if that's what they wanted to do. I saw the blast at the Pentagon, not the blast take place, but moments after it. I'd been at National Airport trying to get up to New York, and you could see that smoke billowing out of the Pentagon. I can give you a little description of what it's like on the streets of Washington, because it was quite crowded trying to work my way back here to NBC. They have now given not only the White House and those key buildings like the U.S. Capitol, but at this point they've given all federal employees the word to leave their offices and get home.
Right.
So there are traffic jams in Washington.
Okay, Bob, I'm sure you're going to get more information for us momentarily, but first we want to go to Jim Miklaszewski at the Pentagon, who has some more information. Mick?
Katie, they're still clearing people away from the Pentagon. Still, security forces believe that there may be another incoming plane headed in the Washington region. But there was a very telling, dramatic moment just a second ago when a U.S. Air Force F-16 flew very low level, did a wide sweeping turn around the Pentagon and back over Washington. And as one Air Force officer standing near me said, "My God, they're now flying air cover over Washington." A very dramatic moment, a milestone in what Tom has already described as a declaration of war, terrorist war against the U.S.
Let's go back and show you the pictures of Lower Manhattan, where the situation only gets worse, not better. That is the financial district of the world. It's also a residential area and a great commercial area. Both Twin Trade Tower buildings now have collapsed onto the ground. There is an untold loss of life. The ripple effect
I told
goes
them our
on
mission is
with
to
all the
protect major
smoke
centers.
and
We're going
dust
to take
that
you. We're
spread
going to
out
drag you down
across
to
that
Pittsburgh and do
very
this.
densely
Because I
populated
got a tanker
area.
coming now.
It goes
But
down
I
below
just want to give them an
ground
early
as
because
well
it's going to be
as,
out of luck once
high-rise
you're down there.
buildings there. There are many
So I want to make sure I got clear,
residential
concise
structures
words
in
for
that
them before
area
they leave.
as
Granted, they
well.
only got
Some
4 direct
heroic
guns.
rescue workers were down there trying to get people out of the building when the first building came down, and then the second building did as well. Without any sound and looking at this, there is a kind of a surreal quality. But that is the epicenter of a great national tragedy and a great loss of life. No question about it.
Okay, there's still a bit of traffic here, but they're not all completely down. I imagine it's all low south of you.
Many of them have been brought to area hospitals, including St. Vincent's Hospital. Bob Brazell is there. Bob,
Okay, I have ROE instructions. Are you ready to copy?
Stream in. Several New York City streets have been closed. Major avenues have been closed off so that ambulances can continue to come in. In addition, the New York City subway system has now been closed down, and several buildings that were not involved in the World Trade Center area have been shut down, and people have been told to go home. But a lot of them are just walking aimlessly on the street. Many people
the direction of protecting the major centers, when you're overhead the major center, Pittsburgh in this case, you have intercept authority on any traffic in the area. And if traffic does not respond to hand signals, divert procedures, anything like that, and they continue to press in a threatening manner towards the major center, you're clear to engage.
Casualties going to be coming in all through the night and way into tomorrow and beyond.
Bob, if you could just stand by for a moment, because we have this report from AP that I'm just simply going to read. A large plane crashed Tuesday morning just north of the Somerset County Airport, about 80 miles southeast of Pittsburgh. Airport officials said the plane, believed to be a Boeing 767, crashed around 10 a.m. about 8 miles east of Jennerstown, according to County 911 dispatchers, WPXI-TV reported. The crash came the same morning that terrorists crashed 2 planes into the World Trade Center in New York City, and the twin 110-story towers collapsed. Explosions also rocked the Pentagon and the State Department, although that was refuted moments ago, and spread fear across the nation. There was no other immediate details on the Pennsylvania crash, and it was not clear whether the crash was related to the others. Again, that was a report, a bulletin that was just issued by the Associated Press.
You know what is so stunning about all this, Matt and Katie, is that there has been no indication whatsoever that this very carefully coordinated massive attack was going to occur. There's been a complete intelligence failure here.
If anybody out there can help, any vendors who have food or supplies, the firemen have no food, nothing but snacks. They need fluids, they need water, and they need protein foods. This is just the beginning of what they're facing. So and we need masks. We need TB masks. Holy shit! What is it?
What just went down?
What just went down?
World Trade 7.
A new type of war. That's what it is. Today, like the National Terrorist Day or something that we missed out on? Obviously, this is a day we won't forget for a long time. September 11th, 2001.